everybody, and welcome to a very special episode. I'm Jim Laskowski. I'm very happy to continue this yearly tradition with one of my closest friends and former podcasting co-host of Directors Club. He's also the host of Tracks of the Damned, and among other things.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. Keep that show going.
Not in practice, but yes, technically that is true.
Welcome to the yearly birthday podcast special, a new tradition that we're just doing for fun. You know, we had a good time doing it last year, and I wanted to keep doing it. And I like this little thing where we sort of assign each other movies as gifts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and catch up.
Sure.
And let, our fans that are still remaining out there in the world, what we've been up to. And
the ones left alive.
Yeah.
Well, let's catch up. How you been doing?
I've been doing really well.
Yeah?
Yeah. Things have changed, and they're changing for the better, I would say. Mm-hmm. I've recently announced on my actual birthday that I'm leaving Facebook for good.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm done.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Haven't officially done it, but I'm going to, for sure. At the end of the month. It's like I have to give people enough time to prepare, right? No.
Prepare what?
It's a ridiculous thing. I almost went, oh, why don't I just do it now?
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Just vanish.
I'm going to figure out a way to keep the Now Playing Network Facebook, and that way I can post about podcasts and stuff still, especially when people have great episodes out there. There's a lot of great shows, a lot of great podcasts on the Now Playing Network that you can subscribe to. There's a couple of new ones, including one that you were just on.
What's that?
Genre Grinder.
Oh, that's right. That is on the Now Playing Network.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Gabe's good people.
He is. Mm-hmm. I remember a long time ago when you did that horror movie show podcast, that was my first thought. I was like, I really hope Gabe gets his own podcast sometime.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about proto-slashers, which are slasher movies, or movies that one could consider slasher movies that came out before Halloween.
Mm. I enjoyed the discussion on Hangover Square quite a bit. I actually learned a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
All of those John Brown sort of Fox horror movies have nice Blu-rays from Kino and are kind of worth seeing, but especially Hangover Square.
Yeah, and I believe Gabe and I are going to do an episode on I don't think it's post-apocalypse. It's
apocalyptic
nuclear fallout movies,
sure.
Like your Miracle Mile, The Day After. Mm-hmm. Is it Threads? I think
I don't think I've seen. This might be a subgenre I've seen zero movies in because I didn't grow up in the 80s.
Yeah, well, it's something that terrified me as a young child. So
sure.
Even now, when I'm watching people being disintegrated after a nuclear warhead annihilates a particular town, I think it's also that I've mentioned this before, but the scene in Terminator 2 is on the playground.
Oh, sure.
That really gets to me, gives me nightmares.
I feel like by the time I was aware of anything, like Berlin Wall had fell, Cold War was over, and with me, nukes are a hilarious sort of overpowered weapon that's in video games I played, because it was by the time you got to the late 90s, they were just fuck it, you're shooting nukes at each other.
Yeah.
Because who cares? Exactly.
So it'll be fun to discuss that. Genre Grinder is a great show. I know his next episode just dropped. And then Colin Suter's great podcast, Christmas Movies, actually, with him and Carrie Finnegan is a lot of fun. A lot of fun to listen to. I'm very happy with how things are going with the Now Playing Network in general. So I'm determined to keep that going and make sure people know about the podcast episodes. But as far as updating what's going on in my life, or here's a picture of my cat on Facebook, I don't need to do that shit anymore. I don't feel like it, and I don't need to be a walking billboard. And
are you prepared for none of those people to ever talk to you again? All right,
yeah,
that's definitely what happens. As soon as you're out of sight, you're out of mind. Mm-hmm. At least that's what happened with me. I don't know. You're probably more popular than I was.
No, I mean, it's hey, drop me a text or an email. That's
they
cool.
won't. That's
and I know.
Yeah, it's the insidious fucking thing about social media is people think emailing is a fucking hassle. People don't use email.
That's
I give people are, you want to contact me, here's the email address, and people are sort of give me a side eye, but it's well, that's what are you going to do?
I'm staying on Facebook, or not. I'm staying on Letterboxd. Mm-hmm. You know, so people can catch me there.
Yeah, but
you know,
they can't really contact you necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. But
and the people who do, you're just like, go away, Cookie Man.
But Cookie Man has such great things to say about your reviews.
Cookie Man is the guy who shows up on a review I wrote in 2014 and was like, maybe you didn't realize this. And it's like, dude, I can't fucking remember a movie I saw 2 months ago. What are you bothering me with this shit about? I don't like Cookie Man. That's me though.
Okay, that's fine.
I am fully poised to become like truly antisocial as I get older. Like I feel like by the time I'm 40, I'm really going to be a fucking hermit, and I'm like kind of looking forward to it.
Also, there's just a lot going on otherwise. A new job downtown at the Harold Washington Public Library is going to finally come into fruition for me, and that's really cool to work downtown at the biggest library in Chicago. What else? Trying to think. What else has happened?
Well, we're caught up with you, I think.
Oh, I was thinking of doing a podcast mini-series maybe in the fall. And certainly you would contribute to the Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene episode where I want to do movies about cults.
So what?
Not cult movies.
Okay, yeah. What? So I mean, that would be a good name for the podcast anyway. But so what's the format of the podcast?
Well, I haven't really determined that. I've always had a fascination with that particular subject.
Okay.
And brainwashing, manipulation, and there's certainly a lot of movies about cults that I have yet to see. It's just more of like doing research, education, maybe reading a book or two on the subject. And just having a guest, preferably live in person, discussing a movie on that subject.
Or that episode of Boy Meets World.
Oh.
Where Sean joins a cult.
What?
Sean joins a cult in an episode of Boy Meets World. And Corey's like, Sean, this isn't like you. And then Sean's like, Corey, you don't get it. You didn't grow up in a trailer like I did.
This really happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then that
a very special episode it must have been.
Sean has like one of the teachers at their high school becomes Sean's guardian because he's like Mr. Cool motorcycle teacher, and he like does some tough talk to the cult leader. He's like, "So you better back off," and the cult leader's like, "Okay." And then Sean's like, "I guess I do have love in my life."
Wow. This is special. I'll have to watch this.
Yeah.
For research.
For sure. It's one of the seminal texts about cults.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, in the past I've talked about an interest in just like Satanic Panic and all that stuff, but I'm just it's something I'd just like to do almost like how we did as you know for Popcorn Supper is just like a mini series, like, you know. We didn't intend it to be that, but you know, 13 episodes maybe or something like that.
Okay.
You know, but be thorough about it and, you know, just have notes and think deep thoughts about all these things and, you know, how this happens, but also like where we were sociologically or any number of ideas I have.
All right.
Pertaining to this subject.
Sure.
I hope it works. It's an idea. How about you? I mean, with Tracks of the Damned, is that still just going to be on hold? And
who fucking knows, man?
You're working hard. You're making the coffee and the scones.
Yeah. I work 6 days a week, and 4 days a week I wake up at 3:30 to get to work. So like, I am fucking tired all the time, and I have no energy. And to be like perfectly frank, like I'm just not as interested in film as I was. I'm probably less interested in film now than I've ever been in my life, other than like before I actually like got into it.
Okay.
Like maybe it's just like a bad string of luck where it's just like I very rarely see a movie that excites me. Now
that's been happening a lot lately. Yeah, I can see that.
And not just new movies, like watching old movies, I rarely get excited the way I used to. So it's just like one of those things where, you know, I'll keep paying the whatever bucks a month to keep that feed up, and maybe at one point I'll, you know, pull myself together and record another commentary track. But like, I have no definite plans at the moment. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is that like that show got too good. So it got too work intensive where it was like, to keep up this level of quality, I have to put in this many hours. And then it's like, you divide that many hours by how many people actually download any given episode. It's like, this doesn't seem worth it. This doesn't seem worth my time.
Yeah. I wish that 9 million people were listening to the show.
Yeah, whatever. It's like a niche thing. Like, I fucking did it to myself. It's not a surprise. I'm like, what? People don't want to sync up a podcast to an obscure out-of-print horror movie from the 40s? This is ridiculous. This is an outrage. This is people don't have they don't have any, what's the word? Standards anymore. They don't know what's good when they see it. I'm misunderstood. I'm a genius. All that sort of stuff.
It'll be one of those things like 10 years down the road, people rediscover and,
I mean, people, they're there and the names of the episodes are just the names of the movies. So people will do that thing where they search iTunes for the name of a movie and they'll stumble upon something and they'll write me an email. Like, I'm going to be on this podcast called Texas Chainsaw Massacre Minute.
Ooh,
which is, one of these new like minute podcasts where are you not aware of this phenomenon? This is like the newest thing in like film podcasts where it's a limited series where every episode is about a single minute of film, on like, Jaws minute or Star Wars minute, Alien minute, these sorts of movies. And they'll be shorter episodes. They'll be like 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But they'll just do super deep dives into...
I feel like there's like a series hosted by different critics where maybe Ebert did this, like where he just goes frame by frame on a movie.
Yeah. Well,
that's interesting.
Ebert didn't do frame by frame because literally when you're talking about movies, you're talking about like if a shot holds. If a shot holds for more than a second, that's literally 24.
He pauses when something
it's
cool.
shot by shot.
Yeah.
He'll pause each shot.
Right.
And like that sort of thing. But this is very... Anyway, this is like this has been going on for like 2 years or so, and some person is starting up Texas Chainsaw Massacre Minute, and he was like, hey, I really like your podcast. If you're still interested in doing podcasts and stuff, I'd like you to be a guest. So, like, people still discover it, but it's just the amount of work versus what I actually like get out of it, and especially like considering I'm just not really passionate about film the way I used to be. It's sort of, I don't know. I'm keeping the option open, but I'm not going to make any promises. There are 2 episodes I haven't released yet.
That's true.
So at the very least, there's going to be 2 more episodes.
Finally coming out on Blu-ray? Isn't Martin finally?
Yeah. So I'm going to release Martin when that comes out on Blu-ray, and then I Drink Your Blood. I was going to do a second part, because I do the commentary and I do another thing, and I was going to do a whole produced thing where I interviewed a bunch of people, and that didn't end up being when I was talking to people, it wasn't actually that interesting. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But I Drink Your Blood and Martin, 2 very, very good 70s horror films.
No, for sure. That's cool. I mean, I understand too. It's like, I think this has happened before, and I probably have said this before on some form on some show, but watching a bunch of new releases for WGN certainly burns me out pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just like, do I need to see Detective Pikachu? No. But, I mean, they kind of want me to have an opinion on it. Like, I'm not the right person to have an opinion on that movie. I don't care. It didn't look interesting. I don't know anything about the Pokemon lore or any form of that.
You don't know about the rich Pokemon universe?
No, I don't.
You couldn't do the polka rap right now?
No, I couldn't. I could do a polka rap. Like Weird Al style.
Okay, I'm going to challenge you on this. Do a polka rap.
No, I can't. Never mind.
Motherfucker.
I should probably watch what I say.
Yeah.
Because then it'll
start
actually be
claiming
challenged.
Outrageous things.
It would just be me, talking over.
I kind of like just going to, like, because I get off work at 11 a.m. because I'm opening a coffee shop, so my shift starts super fucking early, and I get off at 11 a.m. and like just going to like the nearby theater and like catching a matinee of whatever happens to be playing is fun.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. Like, but
that's
like
how it used to be, and then I got caught up in the podcasting and having to have an opinion, and
like I could, no matter what, I've written a review of basically every movie I've seen.
You're keeping that up pretty well over on Letterboxd.com
since like 2013. So like pretty much no matter what, I can write 100 words about something. It's no problem. But if you have to be like, should you see it this weekend? Where do you spend your entertainment dollar? Then it's like, oh, God, I don't want to be part of this fucking system.
Yeah.
I don't want to like, if you're stupid enough to think that new Robin Hood movie could be worth anything at all, then like, fuck you. Like, go see that movie, you idiot. You don't need me on the radio telling you that the King Arthur movie that Guy Ritchie made is terrible, because you have fucking eyes. And if you can't watch the trailer and know that movie's terrible, then go to hell. Like, who cares?
I agree. No, I agree.
I told you, I'm really primed to be Mr. Antisocial hermit.
You're turning into Harvey Picar.
Yeah.
I don't think you're a curmudgeon, though. I think you genuinely care about the human race.
That's a loaded statement. I wish I didn't.
No, I just I'm leaving WGN at the end of the month as well, because I'm going back to school. I'm going to get a master's. I want to be a real librarian.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Congratulations.
University of Illinois. So I'll be doing it online, and it's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll take a couple years, but once I do, I'll hopefully make a decent salary with wherever I'm at. Or if I want to go to a different library, I just love libraries, and I love being a part of that institution, and certainly being able to recommend movies to people is a treat, and helping people, sometimes it's something as simple as like turning into a PDF into a Word document. I do that, and I'm going to learn about reference and research questions and databases and nerdy things like that. So
Dewey and his decimals.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So that's another plus. And I'm looking forward to that. We're also musicians. That's how we met. That's how this whole thing got started.
Huge square quotes around calling me a musician, but sure.
No, you put out a great new album, actually. It's called Now More Than Ever.
Oh, thank you.
And it's at patrickrapold.bandcamp.com. I was actually linked in the last episode with the Alex Ross Perry interview for Her Smell. Because I'm like, hey, Her Smell is kind of about music. Patrick made music. I'll put a link there.
Boy, you really shoehorned that in. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Really showing it. Well, whatever. I'm not making any money off of it, so it's not really advertisement. I started writing and recording that album late 2016, like right after the election, basically. And that's kind of what the album's about, and I am happy with it. Like, I'm happy with it now. Like, I'm pretty much never happy with my singer-songwriter shit. Like, like once I get 6 months removed, I listen back to it and I'm like, oh, this is so embarrassing. No one can ever see this. Oh, turns out no one gives a fuck anyway. Good, win-win. But no, I am actually pretty happy with it. If you can handle people who are bad at playing guitar and singing.
I think you're pretty good at both.
Well, with lo-fi music. Oh, I'm like objectively bad at guitar. Like I have like fucking fine motor issues. Like, I can't actually properly.
You have some good chord structures going on in your
play
songs.
A guitar, but if you can listen to Daniel Johnston, you can absolutely listen to Now More Than Ever.
Yeah, it's like Daniel Johnston meets Lou Barlow. I could see.
I guess those DIY like those home recordings Lou Barlow did.
Yeah.
Man, Lou Barlow has a really good cover of "Run to You" by Bryan Adams.
Really? Holy shit!
Really fucking good. It's a bad song that he makes good,
which is what Elizabeth Moss does in Her Smell with a Bryan Adams song. Not the same one, but I've covered it. "Heaven" by Bryan Adams.
I don't think I know that one.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like her. I think you're gonna like Her Smell.
I may. I mean, I've heard this before.
That's true. I know. I shouldn't say that.
I'm very skeptical that I'll like anything like that. And it's like, and then if I'm pleasantly surprised, awesome. But, Alex Ross Perry's thing is fucking tired at this point. And
yeah, I can see why.
To me, obviously,
I can see why.
Like, nothing against people who are into Alex Ross Perry movies. But I'm just like, it's fucking 2019. Like, I can't take movies that are just about awful people being awful.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, like I like that sort of thing is just like, that's a really tough pill for me to swallow.
Yeah. What else did you see this year that you liked?
I've seen 3 movies this year that I liked. I saw Us by Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Which
excellent.
Obviously flawed, but like really exciting. And I mean, it's a fucking mess, but it's also like, because it's a fucking mess, you can't guess what's going to happen next, which is...
Yeah, that's the main pleasure I got out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, opposed to Get Out, like if you've seen the trailer to Get Out, you know pretty much, like you don't necessarily know why what's happening until you see the movie, but like you could guess from the start with the structure of that thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, like with Get Out and Us, once they get to the explanation, that's where I kind of go, I don't know if I needed that.
Yeah, well, he's very literal. Like, he's very much a neat, tidy sort of screenwriting 101, sort of like, set up this little detail here so you can pay it off later. Like, all of these little good Hollywood housekeeping sort of screenplay tricks are throughout both of those movies, which is like good because those things are fun, like the dude grew up, like paid attention to Steven Spielberg movies, and stuff like that. Like, but the actual stories he tells are sort of irresolvable in a way that works against that instinct. Like if you like, there's a lot of sketch comedy now that is sort of esoteric and strange and off-putting, and like you watch it and you don't even necessarily know what the initial comedic premise was. Like, I Think You Should Leave.
That's what I'm watching.
It's like that. I really like that show.
I kind of do too. I not every sketch, obviously.
Yeah, but like there's enough good sketches per episode. That it's like, that I really enjoyed that. But he sort of is throwing a lot of weird shit at the wall, and sometimes it's like that weird stomach, the t-shirt tugger, TC Tuggers or whatever, that fucking sketch, like absolutely bizarre and amazing. And then sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know why you do this. Whereas like if you watch something like Key and Peele, those sketches are so fucking tight. Like every shot, every line of dialogue has a really distinct purpose and really sets up the premise or subverts the premise or takes the joke in a different direction or takes you by surprise because they've already set up like this. Like, if you just look at Key and Peele as sort of proof of Jordan Peele's writing style, like, he is someone who is, very literal and very logic-driven. And when you combine that with the plot of Us, it's like, oh, this maybe shouldn't have that. Maybe this should have been more like, I don't know, Messiah of Evil or something, where you finish it and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
It's more dreamlike or something.
Like he can't really pull off that nightmarish tone that he wants to. But Us is fucking good.
I really liked Climax. I thought
Climax is really fun.
The opening to that was just like, holy shit.
That energy of that dance number is good, and the rest of it's really kind of trashy fun. I think it thinks it's...
I think once they start talking, like I did get a little restless with when he's cutting back and forth to all the people, them having conversations, and especially the two guys were just like complete pigs, Well, I mean, they're counterbalanced by everything. Like I thought you need that because once the shit actually hits the fan, like you really need to have a good idea of who those people are, because that is what informs your understanding of where they go once they are all freaking out on acid. So like I thought that sequence was all very good as far as just a way of establishing distinct identities for everyone, and making sure that the rest of it had any meaning. I thought it went on a little long, but other than that,
it is a little long. I agree with you there, but I did enjoy that.
Yeah, me too.
And then there's just some stuff where it's like, oh, I think he thinks he's really pushing your buttons and is really saying something. And like, I'm not from France. Like the way that movie proceeds, if it was about, France has some really bad shit going on as far as like Islamophobia, as far as in general across Europe, there's like a real fear of like refugees and immigrants and stuff like that. And like maybe that movie starts with just like a big fucking French flag saying like proudly a French production. And then like shows all these people dancing and harmonious and like this like culturally diverse, multinational, multiracial, multigender, multisexuality sort of group coming together to create something amazing and then tearing each other apart. And it's like, it's very easy to imagine that as an allegory for France that I just can't quite understand because I'm not entrenched in French politics. But at the same time, it's like it just doesn't hit those depths that I think it does.
And both Us and Climax open very similarly.
Yeah, with the fucking VHS tapes.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of cool. What if all movies did that?
Oh,
here are all my influences.
That's like if you watch like shot on video movies from the 90s. There's fucking horror movie because they're just shooting in there because they're all horror dorks and they're all shooting in their own houses and bedrooms. So it's just like you're just constantly seeing fucking Night of the Living Dead posters everywhere, and it just makes you groan. When I made my movie, I actually had to redecorate my fucking living room so there wouldn't be movie posters because I was just like, that's gonna take people out of the movie if they see
that's
my
a good point.
Autographed Hot Fuzz and Maniac Cop 2 posters.
Right. They'll be focusing on that. They'll at least notice it.
Or they're like, oh, is that supposed to be meaningful? And it's like, no, I just shot my apartment because it's a no-budget movie. So, like, yeah, we redecorated for that very reason. So, it's kind of corny, I think, the VHS things. What was the third one?
Probably High Life, right?
Yeah, High Life's fun.
Yeah.
Another movie I don't think is actually that deep.
I feel like it could be, but I didn't pick up on it.
I believe it not to be.
Okay.
Especially like I think I watched Beau Travail like 2 days beforehand. Beau Travail's fucking insanely good.
Yeah.
And then compared to that, like High Life is.
Did we watch that for our Claire Denis episode? Gosh,
yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I must.
We watched 35 shots of rum.
Definitely White Material,
and I think I watched Beau Travail as well. Because that was the first time I saw that. And yeah, Beau Travail is a perfect film.
Yeah.
But like High Life is the attraction is Robert Pattinson acting with a baby. Like the attraction is just sort of like
I never would have expected me to be like I just want to watch him on screen in general all the time now.
Yeah.
I think he's a compelling presence.
Yeah, no, he's good. I mean, it's like
after Good
Kristen
Time,
Stewart is also a fucking good actor, but you wouldn't know either of them are from Twilight because the material's bad. That's why I always like there are performances that are quote unquote good / great performances that people consider to be like, oh, this is because they're big and because they're showy and because they fit a certain guidelines of what you think those performances should be.
Yeah.
That I never get into just because I don't think the script is actually good. Like Michael Shannon in Revolution Road.
One of our first arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand your argument.
It's like, Michael Shannon is a good actor, but the script is bad. There's only so much you can do when the script is bad.
But he makes it watchable. Like even if he's big, I don't know. I find it entertaining.
No, for sure. But it's just like
it doesn't have the nuance of something like Take Shelter, you know. But,
yeah. I mean, I would not also call that like a great script, but like it has more nuance than Revolutionary Road.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Isn't there another? There's Reservation Road, Revolutionary Road.
Sam Mendes, what happened?
Road to Perdition.
Yo, what happened to Sam Mendes?
The Road. I don't know. What's he up to?
Isn't he doing like another Bond or something like that?
I don't know.
I feel like.
Yeah, he should be doing something. Oh, Patrick.
Yeah.
We do this thing.
Yeah.
Now. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just started doing this technically last year, but.
It's not 3 makes a trend.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just call it a trilogy if we want, but I enjoyed, podcasting with you even just on as a yearly tradition.
And I just enjoy shoving things into trilogies whenever possible.
Me too. Couple of movies, or one movie I should say, each that might find interesting, or hopefully have a lot to talk about.
So that was the idea last year.
Yeah, and we chose two very interesting movies to talk about. I have a
computer in front of me, so I cannot relate to you fine audience members what I went through when I opened my email one morning. Okay, so last year you were like,
I really want you to see Take Shelter.
Take Shelter is a movie I loved that came out while we were recording the podcast, and you just never saw it, and I really want you to see it. And then I was like, okay, me and you, we differ on the Phantom Thread. I just saw this movie that I think sort of does the Phantom Thread, but better, and I think that would make an interesting conversation, so you see that. This year, I get like 4 emails from you like, what about this French movie from the 30s? I don't think it's on DVD. I don't know how you can see it. Hold on. Wait, no. What about this movie? Wait, this sounds
this
good.
Russian movie.
Actually, we're gonna. Yeah, it was like some Russian movie, and it was like, actually, let's go with this Hong Kong action movie. So like,
I don't
these
understand.
are not movies that you have deep attachment to. That like, what was your thought process behind this?
I guess I could have gone similarly and be like, Patrick, you still haven't seen Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Like, I literally, when you even mentioned that us doing this episode again, I'm like, well, I guess I'm finally seeing Beasts of the Southern Wild.
I don't know. At some point I was like, let's just have fun. Let's have a fun experience with a movie.
Okay, but it's like you hadn't seen the movie when you assigned it, so you didn't know that would be a fun experience.
But I kept reading all these good things about it, and I'd never seen it. I'm not familiar with the director. I mean,
You're a little familiar with the director.
I've seen Iron Monkey.
He's also the choreographer of like The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
Yun Ping.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. No, I actually knew nothing about this movie, and when you asked why I chose it, I honestly couldn't remember. But I guess that showcases my brain's becoming more and more decrepit as I get older.
Sure.
But my theory is right now is that since it's a 1989 film, I may have come across it while doing research for the other yearly tradition of doing a retrospective show. Like, it was probably on some list somewhere, and I just put it in the back of my mind. And then, sometimes I just do these weird Letterboxd deep dives of somebody mentioned this movie, somebody gave this 5 stars, or Mike D'Angelo gave this a high rating, so I make note of it, or I put it on a watch list.
That is sort of the primary advantage of the way Letterboxd is set up. Is it's really easy to just sort of dive deeper and deeper, the way you like sort of enter a YouTube hole, like clicking recommended videos, and then eventually you get to like an alt-right video about SJWs forcing Captain Marvel down your throat or whatever. But on like Letterboxd, you can always see on any movie page if anyone you've seen it, anyone you follow has seen it and what they thought.
Right.
And yeah, you can discover some really cool stuff that way.
I think I was in the mood to throw back to the mid-90s to some degree, because I remember when I first saw Rumble in the Bronx in the theater, and I was like, my mind was blown. I was like,
this is your first Jackie Chan movie?
Yeah. And I was kind of like, whoa, I didn't know like I could watch fucking, like a Buster Keaton movie and with Kung Fu essentially. And I came across this title, and obviously this is the 4th in the series. So I was like, well,
we should just say the title of the film is In the Line of Fire 4.
In the Line of Duty 4.
In the Line of Duty 4, technically, but also that is a title that it's actually part of a series not called In the Line of Duty in Hong Kong. Like, it's called like Mother Policeman or something like that. Like, the female lead is the sort of recurring character in this series.
Yes, Madam series.
Yes, Madam. Not Mother Policeman. Yes, Madam 3, I think, is the other. So, like, I don't actually know the lineage of this film, but luckily you don't need to. It can stand on its own.
Yes.
Because the plot is kind of irrelevant.
It kind of is, because it's just. And that's why both of these movies, I think, are ones that you have to see, because they're just so driven by their visuals and the things that happen within them that, I mean, yes, we can describe them in detail and what makes them great, but in the end, you kind of need to see these action scenes for yourself, with your own eyes, to know what we're talking about, what makes it so entertaining. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen Cynthia Khan in some movies in the past. Obviously Donnie Yen, I know I've seen him in a few things, but I don't know. I thought it was just, let's have some mindless fun and enjoy. Like, again, I haven't dived deep into the world of Hong Kong cinema in ways that I kind of wish I had. But I watching this, I was like, I remember in Super Cop when Michelle Yeoh is like fighting on ambulances, or like doing a lot of car stunts and jumping around, and certainly you could see the influence of these of the choreography of these fight scenes on The Matrix. Now that you brought that up, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense to me now. And maybe even the fighting on top of trucks moving is pretty magnificent to watch, and that happens in The Matrix Reloaded too.
These movies, because they're modern films, and they take place in vertical sort of places, like they take place in buildings. People are jumping on top of things. People are climbing up warehouses and going through windows,
elevator shafts,
stuff like that. Like, they're very much about people using their environment, which again I think is sort of a Jackie Chan thing, and sort of
Yeah.
even though this is I guess you would qualify this as a martial arts film. Like there's some guns and stuff, but
there's a little bit of everything.
The action scenes aren't generally gun based; they're mostly martial arts based.
Yeah, but there's swords and
because
guns
there's
and stuff.
Oh yeah, there is a sword at the end.
Yeah,
because it's modern and it's sort of using the environment. It's a little. It feels like a separate lineage than like a Shaw Brothers sort of kung fu movie, like a Five Deadly Venoms or something like that.
Yeah, and just some of the nemesis in this film. A lot of weird. The guy in the motorcycle, or there's a fight between Yen and I think this guy's name is Michael Woods, where he's the bad guy in the motorcycle, and they get into a big joust and all that. Just some of his facial expressions are hilarious. And he's like spazzing out when he's fighting, and it's something that I think is very funny to watch, but also really intense. And as someone who recently have done sound design on a movie, I'm watching this going, how the the sound design? How do you fucking edit those sound, like every single punch?
What do you mean?
I mean, every single punch and kick has a sound effect right after it's done, or right when there's contact.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that process. I mean, it seems like it would be exhausting with the number of, and just all
it's a martial arts movie. There's a library to it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like if you like I said, this isn't
Not
a
a-
Shaw Brothers movie. This is 1989, so like the sound editing's a little more sophisticated than it was in the 70s. But like, there's like if you watch like a martial arts movie from the 70s, it's like the same 3 sound effects for every movement. But I'm sure the sound library isn't that much larger for this. I'm sure they didn't actually do individual Foley for every single. Like that would be a very time intensive process.
That's what I mean. It's like I imagine somebody doing that live and being
these are films that are made by studios that make a lot of these types of films. So you can imagine that they have a library of these sorts of sound effects, especially since realism is not key. Then again, I watched it dubbed. So I mean, I watched it dubbed. So on Amazon Prime. So it's like you're already not necessarily getting the original audio track. I don't know. I don't think they would change the sound mixing or music or anything, but there's already that like division between the picture and sound because obviously like the lips don't match up and everything. Though the funny thing about this movie, so the plot of this movie is that it takes place in quote unquote Seattle, which is it's like the phoniest fucking looking America you've ever seen. Only emphasized because later they go to Hong Kong and it looks the exact same.
Sure.
It's about an immigrant who witnesses the CIA doing some fucking dirt and tries to get snuffed out, and he gets deported. And then eventually the cops who are doing the deporting like come to believe that him and his story about the CIA dealing drugs or whatever, and they try to take down the CIA,
right?
That sort of thing. But
it's like The Departed. Essentially,
but it takes place in. It's not like The Departed in any way, shape, or form. But like it takes place originally in Seattle, which means that it's just like every interior has a fucking American flag somewhere in it.
Yeah,
and it's like, boy, the fucking Seattle Police Department sure has a high population of Asians because. Like I didn't know they had diversity hires like that. Like good on them because they're 75% Asian. But this movie to me, like mostly what it made me think of is like being 6 or 7 and walking around an arcade and looking at, like Lethal Enforcers and Final Fight. Yeah, Final Fight is the brawler. And Double Dragon
Street Fighter.
And Street Fighter, like all of that sort of thing. Like it has this sort of ridiculous cartoon logic where they're transporting the prisoner and then another truck pulls up and then just like ninjas come out sort of and are hopping from one trick to another. It's like, yes, I have played that level, like that is absolutely
like
part of Shinobi.
It is like a live action video game.
It's super like everyone, they pull out guns and they're like just doing these super wide stance, double-handed sort of gun points all the time. Like the way that like bad guys will pop up in Lethal Enforcers. And like, it's like, the bad, like the hoodlum kind of white guys are just like weird dudes with mustaches and like sweatshirts who just kind of look like weird middle-aged out of shape guys who pop up from behind a crate and fire a gun, and like
and always
and like those games also would take place in America, but because they were made in Japan primarily, like they also had sort of a very phony Americana to them. So in general, this movie just feels like, like right now we have the movie on in the background, and they just saw like Time Magazine, which is like a big plot point where it's like, yes, Time Magazine is propped up on this wall, on this coffee table very prominently, so you know it takes place in America. Later on, literally, they kidnap someone and they are like hung from a rope, like like someone you're saving in the final boss of fucking Streets of Rage or something.
Right. They kidnap the mother, I believe.
Yeah. So it's a very sort of silly movie, but it's not silly in the way that like a Jackie Chan movie's silly, where it's like they're doing a fight scene and then Jackie gets hit in the balls and it's just a close up of his face, like crossing his eyes.
Yeah.
It's silly in that it's mostly only concerned with the action scenes, and the rest,
and they never go down. They just keep getting hit and pummeled, and they just kind of keep going.
Well, you're in a fucking fight. What are you gonna do? Lose?
That's true.
You gotta get up. You gotta keep going.
I think if I got hit in the face once, I'd be down.
Well, yes. But you're not a trained martial artist like this immigrant dock worker who happens to be absolutely insane. Yeah, it is a very fun. It's a very fun movie, and it does do just enough work on the characters and the story and stuff that you're not bored in the few moments that there aren't people fighting each other.
Yeah, no, I cared about what was happening. But then again, I'm just like, this is just cool to watch, and it's been a long time since I watched something like this.
Yeah. Well, last year I watched a bunch of Asian movies, so like I saw. Like this, I would not put among the great all-time like Hong Kong action movies.
Yeah, you
like,
watched one that you gave 5 stars. Which one was that? I forgot what it was.
Probably Full Contact.
Maybe
it's a It's a Ringo Lam film.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
I think it's Full Contact. Full Contact is a fucking scorcher. Like I can't. Full Contact is way like I like it because John Woo movies. Here's the thing: like John Woo movies, they kind of want you to care about the characters and like the themes and the sort of overwrought melodrama. And I never give a fuck about any of that. Yeah. Like I really think like no, these are all bad people. Like this dirty cop is a bad cop and fuck him. Like all those characters, I just don't.
The killer and Hard Boiled are kind of bloated sometimes.
Yeah, like
just with the plot.
Whereas Full Contact is just nasty and grimy and nonstop, fast-paced and just unbelievably imaginative, and it has some of that same sort of video game feel to it, which isn't necessarily inherently a video game quality as much as just what I associate a lot of those kind of signifiers with. But Full Contact's fucking great, and this isn't Full Contact. I wouldn't put this in the realm of like certain Johnny To movies and stuff like that, but Yun Woo Ping is really good at staging fight scenes. And it was funny watching this right after seeing Avengers Endgame.
like this is how it should have been.
Like not just Avengers Endgame, but I also saw like Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and
Thor Ragnarok
and Infinity War. So like I saw all these Marvel movies in a row that are just like, and then you sort of watch a screensaver. You watch two people. Yeah, right now we're seeing a fight scene as two people are fucking sword fighting with shovels as their motorcycles ride next to each other. The other thing, you watch these movies and there's just like some really dangerous stunt work. And
I know. And you're like, how the fuck did they get away with
these
this?
People sure as fuck don't have a union. Like, you almost kind of feel bad watching people like get kicked out of a 2-story window and then in one shot you see them just land on their fucking neck. Like it's rough.
It's nuts. Yeah.
The other thing I love about Yun Woo Ping is in this movie he keeps finding ways to have airplanes in the background. Like I think he just knew the flight paths of airplanes and would just time a shot so that like people are riding their motorcycle as an airplane flies behind them. I guess it's just like for production value, but it ends up being really fun. Just seeing all these fucking airplanes everywhere, like they're all fighting right outside the airport. some extreme sports going on as we watch this right now. But so
I'd be interested in seeing more films of his. He actually did a Crouching Tiger sequel.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. I didn't watch it, but it's a Crouching Tiger sequel, so I'm sort of
it's gotten terrible reviews
in spirit.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, no, I've seen
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was probably the first martial arts movie I ever watched.
I've seen some of the Ip Man films. Yeah.
The Ip Mans are good. Did he direct those?
He did the latest one.
Oh, okay.
I guess it was last year.
Are you talking about because there's a lot of different Ip Man series. Are you talking about the Donnie Yen Ip Man?
Yeah, the Ip Man Legacy.
No, I don't think that's...
It says he directed it last year.
Yeah,
Master Z.
I don't think that's Donnie Yen Ip Man. Because there's Ip Man
you're right.
1, 2,
I guess
and 3.
And it was produced by Donnie Yen.
Those are the Donnie Yen films.
Okay.
But there's also, because Ip Man was an actual historical figure, it's not like someone owns the copyright to him.
Right.
So there's a lot, once those movies were successful, there's a lot of fucking Ip Man movies. I think technically the Grand Master, the Wong Kar-wai movie, is also an Ip Man movie. So like, there's a lot of Ip Man movies.
Okay.
There's another sort of action comedy. I guess I would qualify this as like an action comedy in some ways.
Yeah, I laughed quite a bit.
And there's another action comedy he did that's more traditional martial arts film, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like White Panther or something like that. And that's also on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, cool. I like I said, I think it was more of a curiosity and sort of wanting to revisit this genre that I sort of
I'm no expert on this sort of thing, so unfortunately, I don't have a lot more insight into this movie.
No, I don't either. That's the thing about both of these movies. Like I said, you have to see it to really know it, and if you haven't seen it, I don't know if a conversation about it would be very interesting.
I would say 5 centimeters per second. There's more going on.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, thematically and whatnot. Yeah. But no, I'm glad we watched this, and it kind of makes me want to watch more, just for fun, you know.
You should.
I will. But yeah, maybe next year I'll actually choose something that Patrick really needs to see this movie I love.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a lot more to say.
I see the problem with me, I would have to choose movies for you, but you watch 10 times more than I do. So it's very rare that I've seen a movie that I think you would love that you have not already seen. Because you see 70 to 100 movies a year. In the 2016, you saw that many 2016 movies, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
So, that's what I mean. By you see more than that a year, but you stay so current that it's not frequent that I can actually catch one that you missed.
Right.
Whereas me, if I don't think I'll enjoy something, even if it's getting rave reviews, I'll usually ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Whereas it took me a very long time to finally watch Buckaroo Banzai, and I did that last night.
Really?
Yeah, thought it was fun. Didn't think it was amazing, but I thought it was fun.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing in context, but...
Yeah. No, I could see that. It's really inventive.
Once it's been hyped up, it's a sort of thing it's not necessarily so amazing on its own.
Yeah.
It's
but
more that
I can see why it's amazing to some people.
You really have to think about it in context of why does this exist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it reminded me of David Byrne kind of did a movie, like a science fiction weird action comedy, because
David Byrne.
Yeah, I felt like it had some of his maybe True Stories. Just the sense of humor.
David.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying it felt like a movie David Byrne did, an actual movie that exists, which is a sci-fi comedy, and I was like.
Especially at the end credits, it just seemed like with all the characters walking together in rhythm to the music and the score, it was just. I don't know. I just got a David Byrne quality.
Huh.
Maybe it's because I recently rewatched True Stories too. That was just a weird sense of humor going on here that I love.
I mean, there was a very it was a time period of a lot of willfully cultish kind of movies, willful cult sensibility. You also have it feels more of a piece of something like Streets of Fire,
okay,
or I don't know, even Rumblefish or something, where it's just these movies that are very willfully trying to be the film equivalent of a different sort of a cultural thing, where this is an old serial, or Rumblefish is, a juvenile delinquent kind of movie from the 50s and kind of feels like film noir, Streets of Fire is like very throwback 50s rock and roll greaser sort of a thing.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah, like kind of it feels it's
again I use this term a lot, but it is a genre mashup that is just encased in this weird
Buckaroo
sensibility.
Banzai goes further than I think any of them. Rumblefish is an art house film, so it kind of exists in a different place. Buckaroo Banzai is, I don't know, but also like, if you don't know anything about Pee Wee Herman, like if you weren't happen to be in LA and seen the stage show for Pee Wee Herman and you saw Pee Wee's Big Adventure, that movie feels like it fell out of a fucking other universe.
Yeah.
That movie has such a completely well captured aesthetic that is so its own and unlike anything else that ever existed before it.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of feels like that happened a lot in the 80s. There's a lot of movies that you see and they kind of feel like it's kind of hard to figure out where the hell they came from.
Did you ever see Parents?
Yeah. I've seen Parents.
Yeah, just something like a really idiosyncratic movie that something like you haven't seen before. I mean, you could say like, oh yeah, it's got some Lynchian qualities to it, but it's just, you never seen anything like it. And that in of itself is exciting. And I kind of felt that way recently about Under the Silver Lake too. Although, again, it's one of those movies where you can go, oh, I can see that influence or that inspiration throughout.
Thomas Pynchon is the thing I keep hearing.
Yeah, which I like. So, tell me about 5 centimeters per second. Because how'd you come across this one?
I think I probably came across it the same way you came across the other movie, where I was just sort of jumping around Letterboxd, and this is from the director of Your Name, which was sort of a notable film of like 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah. He's an anime director, and I'm always interested. Like, I fucking absolutely adore the aesthetics of anime, except for I don't like fantasy. I don't like Japanese humor. I don't like fucking just over the top goofiness. I don't care about like deep mythologies or people fated to do things, or like they're like everything anime is about, and anime is super broad spectrum of a lot of different things, but like generally speaking, anime always puts me off. And even the universally accepted beloved animes like Studio Ghibli, a lot of those I think are terrible.
One of them, yeah.
Like I like Princess Mononoke a lot, but like I think there's a lot of even Miyazaki films that are just sort of trash. That I'm just not into. So like I'm always on the lookout for like, at some point I'm going to stumble upon the anime that I am into.
Yeah.
And this is it.
That happened with me.
With 5 centimeters per second.
Although I think Grave of the Fireflies definitely worked for me too.
There's exceptions. Like Cowboy Bebop is a fucking incredible show, but like I've never been able to settle into anime enough that I can just feel comfortable checking out anime and being like, well, maybe I'll like this, maybe I'll like this. I'm pretty sure most people who would call themselves into anime don't like every anime. Like, I like horror, but I don't like most horror movies, you know?
Sure.
So like, but I like so little of it that I generally don't feel like it's worth my time to even delve into it. And I didn't even really like Your Name that much, which is
I know, I gotta change my name sometime.
The critically acclaimed. Yeah, I don't really like James Eric. I'm glad that you went to Jim Laskowski.
I agree.
I don't really like that film that much, and the thing I don't like about that film is that it is like, again, this sort of fantasy, sort of high concept thing that
it is high concept. You're right.
Whereas
it's less relatable than
5 centimeters per second is super, super fucking grounded in reality, but it gets the melodrama through just sort of naturally what your emotions are like when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
It's a film. I want to say it's in three parts. It's like 3 episodes, so you could call it. I mean, I always thought of it as an OVA, which is the term for anime that's direct to video. So like a lot of anime is not something that airs on television. It's something that they create a limited series that debuts on DVD or streaming or whatever, and that's OVA. I don't know what it stands for, but original video anime. Let's say that.
I like that.
At any rate, I thought it was an OVA, but it actually did have a theatrical debut before anything else, so it is a film.
Oh, I would love to see this on the big screen.
Or it was like, I don't know what the fuck the origin of this is, but at any rate, it's a 3-part, 1 hour long film / series that takes place over a long period of time about this character, and sort of this girl he was very close friends with and fell in love with, who moved away. And it's okay. So the most striking thing about this series is the editing. It is directed and edited in a way that no animated movies basically ever are, because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I can't imagine how expensive this was, or how, because the thing about animation is that you can draw a background and then you can have multiple scenes in this background. You only need to have the background drawn once or something like that. Yeah. Or in anime especially, like a lot of keyframes are reused and stuff because people are talking, and it's more economical to not have super tons of bespoke animation for every single moment of your show, because that just gets way, way more expensive than a comparable like scene in live action or whatever.
Sure.
This, especially the first episode and especially like the first 10 minutes, it's like maybe 3 shots every 2 seconds. Like, it cuts so fast, and they are all super striking, detailed images. So it's just like this super crazy montage set with this voiceover, this very melodramatic, sort of emotional, angsty, teen sort of voiceover with this dramatic piano music playing. So like in some ways it has a very anime sensibility, but it's all modern Tokyo. The first part is, at least, and it's all just absolutely gorgeous looking.
Yeah, every shot is, again, it's like it's almost like when I was watching Tree of Life again recently. It's like, I want every frame of this on my wall. It's just so beautiful to look at.
Or it's like, it reminds me of something like sort of Upstream Color almost, where it's like,
the way it's very fluid.
It's just super fluid about flowing from one idea to the next, and it's not particularly concerned about whether or not you're following what's going on. Like, there's a lot of exposition that is given across through very fleeting images. Because what's mostly important is about emotion. So it's about this, like the first one, they're basically 3 short stories. It's basically a collection of, it's like 2 short stories characters, and then a bad music video. But I think the third part is bad. But
I like the song. It's small. It's schmaltzy.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Oh, well, I'm not a fan of the third part. But so the first short story is this. You get the backstory of this friendship between this boy and this girl, and they're like 13 years old. And he lives in Tokyo and she lives in some small town, and he's going to move away from Tokyo to a different small town that is so far away that like he would never conceivably ever be able to visit her.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like this time thing where like this is his last chance to go and see her before maybe they never see each other again. And it's all about this, and it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah, before smartphones and all that.
Before smartphones and stuff like that. And it's like, it's basically a harrowing tale of transportation.
Yeah.
It's like a harrowing tale of having to transfer trains and stuff like that.
Again, very grounded things that could happen.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very relatable in that. It reminded me of Richard Linklater too. Just like that sort of, it's not necessarily romantically idealistic in the way that the first Before Sunrise movie was, but I feel like the emotion, at least, and just how, you really want to connect with somebody, but there's these circumstances that are preventing that, whether if it's time, whether if it's distance, and certainly that plays, like that emotion from Before Sunset, I think plays into this at some point too, where they're not able to actually be what they want to be together. Because they can't get to each other.
I guess it's been a bit, but Before Sunset. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Before Sunrise, because that's the one with the train.
Well, true, that makes sense too. Yeah.
My mistake. Before Sunset. Yeah, I guess I can see it. I think it's still an anime. Like, it's still sort of precious and simplistic in a way that I think the Linklater movies are not. About, like, I mean, and it's fitting. It's not like in a bad way, but it's just about 13-year-olds. So, like,
sure,
like when you are attracted to someone and you're 13, what your brain tells you is you're in love with them. If they don't know this and then love you back, you're going to die.
Pretty much.
Like, it is so, like...
Yeah, it feels that way
at
when
that
you're
age,
watching it.
Every feeling is so overblown and ridiculous and counterintuitive.
Yeah, like when I was 13,
especially if you're shy like these characters and really afraid to express yourself. They're introverts who like to write letters, and right. That's how they connected. Was they're both kind of they're told the line is like they're both sickly or whatever, and stayed inside reading during recess and stuff like that. So, but I
can relate to that.
But like, so it's just like super insanely quick montage for 20 minutes of absolutely gorgeous fucking Japanese metropolitan transportation. Like, it's really dorky. Like, it's the sort of thing that it's just like, oh no, I'm just a fucking dork. Like, this is absolutely my shit. And the fact that it does capture that emotion. And also, like, I remember being 14 or 15 and you can't drive. And I went to like a private school. So like everyone came from different towns and places it wasn't like we all came from a centralized district. So like, I remember a lot of my early relationships, there just being an insane amount of angst about travel and distance and like, how am I going to see you?
That's the thing I liked about this the most too, is just like it gets really practical with like, how can I get to this train at this time at this particular moment, or what's going to happen if this train is stuck here for a long period of time.
And he doesn't have a cell phone because it's the mid-90s.
He can't call.
And like, he just has a piece of paper that has all of the different numbers of the things he has to catch. And it's like harrowing in a funny way, but like it's all constant voiceover because it's all montage. You don't really see any scenes playing out in full. So it has a really emotional immediacy to it. At the same time, and it's absolutely gorgeous looking. And I think, and it's like, it's one of those things that I can't say it's brilliant or like, oh, this is a really detailed and deep dive into what it's like to be that age or anything like that. There's something kind of shallow to it, but like it manages to capture in these sort of offhanded images and these sort of interesting choices in how it decides to frame a scene. Like for example, in the first episode, during part of his voiceover about her moving away and missing her and like all of that, it just shows completely unconnected to him. It just shows sort of a bird flying through the sky, like leaving sort of the Tokyo and just sort of fly. And it's just this. It's
a very Malick touch
for a film that edits so quickly. Like it's the first sort of long time we spend with a single thing, and it's just this bird, and then you finally see that it is like gotten to her, and that is how it has chosen to depict the distance to you. And then later in like the third episode, I think, or maybe the second episode, there's like more bird imagery, but it means something different now because it's about a different thing. So like it's just the way that I think of Upstream Color, like every choice it makes with its shots, it's like it's both economical but also striking and surprising.
Right.
What was the Lynn Ramsey movie that came out?
You Were Never Really Here?
That one also kind of does that, except I thought the material itself was kind of bad. But like that is another movie where every scene is sort of done in a way you don't expect it to be told, and it's like super economically. Again,
it's one of those that subverts your expectations with how it's edited.
It's one of those things that you never ever see in animation because it is so insanely expensive. And I don't know like if this had a small crew that just sort of worked as like a passion project for a very long time on it, or if it did have a big budget or what. Like I don't actually know enough about the production.
Yeah, I don't either.
Details of anime or whatever, but it's so striking, and that I want to say, like, I think that first sort of short story is the best part of the film.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Second part follows him after he has moved, and he is no longer the protagonist. The protagonist is a girl who is sort of in the same situation he was in, where she's in love with him, but she can't say anything because she's too shy. And they are in the island in Japan in the early 2000s where they were launching a space probe out into the deep reaches of space,
right,
which it was a real thing. Like at first time I saw this, I thought it was sci-fi because I'm like, I didn't know Japan had a space program, but I looked it up and they actually do have a space program, and it's all like an actual time and place.
Certainly
thing
don't know as much about it as Russia.
Right.
Russians
Well,
program.
yeah. It was they launched satellites and stuff like that, but it's not nearly as involved as America and Russia's space programs.
Yeah.
At any rate, and he now is like this total fucking hunk who is like, because he's so quiet, it's just like, oh, of course she fucking falls for him. Like, we know that he's just a weird, neurotic weirdo introvert, but like to her, he's just this super cool, quiet, mysterious kind of guy who, because she is, he's 13 in the first part. Now they're like 17 or 18. Like, of course she has built him up to be like this absolute confident guy who has everything figured out because he doesn't seem to panic. So why would he? Couldn't possibly be that he's withdrawn from moving around so much. And it's sort of about her lusting after him and like trying to arrange situations where they talk, and she doesn't know that he's still pining for this other girl. She doesn't really know anything about his deal because he's very quiet.
Yeah.
And it's all like her internal monologue, but you also like see her sister, and again, it's like modern, really detailed, really beautiful, and they use the space imagery really well, where there's just this moment where they're walking home, and then it's completely by surprise, just like a fucking space shuttle launches into the sky, and they're both watching it. And if you look up the poster,
that's beautiful.
If you look up the movie, like that's what the poster is,
right?
And it's this like, it's this perfect visual metaphor for like the impossibly explosive and unstable sort of emotional state of being a teenager, even though when you're an older teenager, you're just like, you're not going to say any of it.
But you're feeling it. And
and it's really astute in that way. What is the name of this director?
Oh, crap.
Can you look that up for me? I don't have a computer in front of me.
Makoto Shinkai? Is that right? Makoto?
Are you asking me if that's pronounced right, or are you asking me if that's
pronounced right.
I couldn't answer either. Okay.
Makoto Shinkai.
Anyway, something Shinkai is really, really good at is sort of not pretending that because you feel those feelings that that is the full depth. Like, okay, so like as a counterexample, Twilight is a series that is also sort of about how intense young romance can be, and how you can just sort of like really get obsessed with a person and it can feel like this other person is your entire life. But like that series treats that as if that is true. And I think this director sort of has way more perspective on it, especially because he is depicting this like shift in time, and he's depicting these shift in emotions and understanding of things. And even though he's still caught up on this girl, like his emotional state is much different, and his understanding of like what it means to like pine for someone is different.
It's just the separation between them feels like the end of the world.
It's a really tricky tricky balancing act, and I could see this putting off some people who are maybe less interested in that sort of story and those sorts of feelings. But like,
I love coming of age stories, and especially ones about pining for somebody so intensely that not being with them feels devastating.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth because like when it's done really well, like in 5 centimeters per second, it is just like, it is time travel, and you just are like, yes, yes, I was 13.
Right.
And then when it's done poorly, it's just sort of like, it feels like a really facile understanding of what romance is.
It's very surface level.
I don't know. I'm not a very romantic person, I don't think so. Like, that's part of it too. Like, I don't.
But you like something like In the Mood for Love, and that to me indicates that you feel those types of feelings.
Well, yes, I'm also in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's probably a better
not a cold
indication that
bastard.
I feel those kinds of feelings. But like, I don't believe in quote unquote true love. I don't believe in souls. I don't believe in soulmates. I don't believe in. I think if you promise to love someone forever, that is just like. I always feel bad because I don't actually like Doug Stanhope as a comedian, but I think one of his bits that has always stuck with me is promising to love someone forever is like promising to be lucky.
Right.
And like,
yeah,
I just don't believe, and like, I think so many films are absolutely built upon this fake idea of what a relationship with another human person is. And, you know, that can be a fine motivator for a character.
I'm trying to find the middle ground for that in life. Because, like, before I was all about being, you know, on cloud nine over the moon over somebody.
Right. And it's not healthy.
No, it's not. I know like, that now.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a while, but
it's a real bad idea. And it's just it's a drug. It feels good at the time, but like then you sort of come out of it and you're like, what the fuck? Like, where was I?
Right. No,
why wasn't I thinking? Like,
it's
why
like being it's like being in an altered state.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to be very skeptical of altered states.
Well, yeah, I've become more openly communicative about my feelings and like trying to understand them and not just go, this is it. Right. You know, this is love. This is definitely love.
And
you know?
I think the thing that in addition to just being astonishing looking and having just like really jaw-dropping editing and sort of feeling like no other animated film I've ever seen in my life, like I think this movie really does know how to acknowledge and validate what it is like to be that age and what it is like to feel those things without actually falling for it.
Yeah, you've summed it up quite well. And, you know, something like It's Such a Beautiful Day, which is also in 3 parts, kind of summed up for me just like what it's like to have crippling mental illness that, you know, envelops you to the point where it affects your waking life in such a way that it's become unmanageable. And that film moved me to no end. And so did this. It really did.
And unfortunately, part 3, it feels like they ran out of money or something. Like part 3 is...
it's all the things about anime.
He's an adult. Yeah. He's an adult now, and he doesn't... And he just feels unfulfilled by life, and he breaks up with his girlfriend, and he quits his job, and he just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And then one day... he crosses a train track and he thinks he walks by this girl that he, you know, had a crush on way back when.
Yeah, it's the same one from the first story. Right?
Yeah, and it's the same train track as well that the film opens on. And he has this sort of moment where he's like, well, fuck, like, what do I do about this? And the actual answer is like, no, you don't do anything because you're adults now. And she has had an entirely separate life without you. And you know that, like, the viewer knows that she's getting married and stuff like that, and she's sort of curious about that part of her life again, but she's also like has perspective on it now and can move on, even though, you know, she acknowledges those emotions she had. But instead of like dramatizing that in any way, it just goes into a really fucking shitty like torch song sort of music video.
Yeah,
and it's like it's everything that the first 2 parts aren't. Like it's just like a fucking jackhammer.
It definitely stands out. It definitely does. I that's kind of like the sucker moment for me. I'm like, no, it still moves me.
Yeah,
even though it's such a cheesy song. Yeah, I was talking with Alex Ross Perry about like power ballads. It's like I know deep down intellectually I shouldn't be so moved by like, you know, a fucking guitar solo or something, but every now and then, it just does it. It just does it for me. You know,
I'm trying to think about like music. Like I feel like I can get really behind a big piece of music if the sentiment behind it is "fuck you." Okay, like that. Well, I can get excited about like that sort of feeling of like righteous fury or whatever. Like that sort of like rock and roll. Like there's a lot of that in a Giant Dog's music and
sure, yeah,
to a lesser extent their side project Sweet Spirit and like but other than that, the only music that really moves me are songs about like how awful life is and how all the good things are gone. Like I think the other day I listened to Night Swimming like 15 times in a row and was just
song
fucking
is so
crying.
good.
Like Night Swimming is one of those songs that's like it's brilliant and it's super moving and emotional to me because it is about unfulfillment.
I was thinking about that era of REM recently and going, fucking A, that was good stuff. It was
Automatic for the People. I downloaded that recently.
And even Monster. Like, people don't like Monster. It's like the number one CD you'll see at UC. Well, if you find a used CD store. But I like
I never got into REM. By the time I was really paying attention to music, like REM had kind of ran its course. Like, and I never went back and really got into them, but I kind of enjoy Murmur and Reckon and
yeah.
some of their singles and stuff. And some of Automatic for the People, though. Everybody Hurts is an awful song.
Oh, it's an awful song. Yeah, I never liked it even when I first heard it. I was like, that was kind of ridiculous.
It's a really bad song.
Yeah.
But Night Swimming.
Find the River, those two.
You know who arranged the string section for Night Swimming? John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin.
Really?
I have no idea the story behind that.
But
I was looking up
unusual.
the Wikipedia entry for it.
John Paul Jones, the drummer?
No, that's John Bonham.
Oh, okay.
John Paul Jones was the bassist, unless I'm getting the name wrong.
Right.
Are you okay? What's beeping?
I don't know. Somebody's calling me. But I won't.
It's you, right?
answer.
Yeah, my phone's in my pocket.
No worries. I'll edit it out.
Anyway, 5 centimeters per second is on Crunchyroll, which is a anime streaming service, and apparently, like, you can watch it for free on Crunchyroll with commercials. But I just got the premium or whatever to watch without commercials. But like,
something I'm probably going to get on Blu-ray if it's available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
It's beautiful.
It is. It'd probably be worth seeing on Blu-ray. I have not seen it on. I've only seen it streaming, but it's worth making an effort to check out, even if Your Name didn't really do it for me the same way. I might want to go back and try to finish Your Name. And
I liked it. I didn't love it like a lot of people did, but I liked it.
That was one of those things where when I was working at the video store, it came out and I watched it for the first 45 minutes and said, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
Give it a try again. I think you'll like it.
On the lookout, if people have recommendations, send them to Jim, because I don't need you people contacting me. But if you have recommendations for anime that has no fantasy or sci-fi elements whatsoever and no outrageous humor, but just like super detailed drawings of modern urban life, like Kids on the Slope is a good one. Kids on the Slope is from the creator of Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
And it's like these sort of weird kids, and they all discover they like jazz. Mm-hmm. And it is, have you ever seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Okay,
yeah,
so like, you watch Cowboy Bebop, you're like, oh, these motherfuckers fucking love jazz.
Yeah.
And like, Kids on the Slope is just like super loving, like shots of like real life album covers and that people and just characters having long conversations about, I don't know, Chet Baker or whoever.
Oh, it sounds like Linklater again.
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, but it is still that anime where it's still like, I'm a shy introverted boy and I'm in love with a girl, but I can't tell her, and someone accidentally pushes me into her and I'm like, like there's still a little bit of that, but like that's more the direction I'm interested in. It feels like
you like The Wind Rises a lot too. I mean, there's been when Marnie was there.
There's a lot of movies I've seen once when they came out and never again that I'm very skeptical I would like.
Okay.
Movies generally don't get better the more I watch them. They usually get worse.
Really?
And especially anything like before, like anything I saw more than 2 years ago, I'm totally skeptical about my opinion about it, unless I have like really vivid memories of it. So like Wind Rises, I don't know if I'd really like that. When Marnie was here, I don't know if I'd really like that.
Wow. People are going to listen to old episodes of Directors Club and think, he loves this movie.
I mean, I've said this consistently throughout my entire life. Like, don't listen to old episodes. They're not worth listening to. I do not back
they
my
still
opinions
are.
on those.
I'm kind of amazed, but they still are listening to those episodes.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm like, I wouldn't mind redoing them all.
Yeah.
Although that would take forever.
I would mind.
Yeah.
They're kind of redoing them all anyway, right?
Yeah, they're going to redo De Palma. I figure
they've redone a bunch of them, right?
Maybe Altman.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've done a bunch of redos.
Okay. At any rate.
Yeah. But they're going to... I figured this time I'll sit in De Palma and there won't be the extreme anger.
Don't listen to that episode.
It does make me uncomfortable now to listen to it more than other older episodes. It's unpleasant at times. Mm-hmm. Sadly.
I don't know why you're listening to this now. So like, actually also don't take my opinion on any of this, because like, I don't understand the appeal of any of it. Like, I don't know why anyone would give a fuck about what I have to say about movies. So like, maybe
you'd
like
be surprised.
I am surprised. It's not even a would be. I am actively surprised all the time.
Yeah, I posted, of course, on Facebook that we were doing this, and a lot of people were happy. So, like 30 people.
All right.
I don't know. But
good for you. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm happy that people get happy about hearing our voices.
Sure.
I don't think I can do it
Life's
regularly.
short
I can't
and
do
awful.
it.
Find something that makes you happy.
I can't do it regularly anymore. That's for sure. You know, whether it's due to just not being busier, but it's more just I don't have the passion for it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
You know, but I still like doing it once in a while. It's fine. Anyway,
You like games?
I do like games.
Dark Souls? You want to play some Dark Souls?
Would you like to play a game? Okay, we're back. And, well, I think last year this was mainly called Score Bits. And then more recently this year, Film Junk did a revision of that game and called it Dialogue Bits. And then a gentleman named Tim Chaplowski built this particular website, which is tonalrecall.us, because I requested it. I was like, because he did this for Film Junk in like a similar format so they could do their game. And I was like, could you make that available to, the general public? And they wanted to do something fun like this as well. And he said, yeah, I can do that. And he put it together.
So what is this game? Describe the game.
Tonal Recall. We basically play a clip from, it could be dialogue, it could be a score. It's just basically audio captured from a particular movie that we love. A movie that we consider to be a favorite, where we've rated it either 4.5 stars or 5 stars on Letterboxd. And we basically just have to see if we can recall based on a particular sound. And we have the short version, which I believe is worth 7 points. It's very minimal, and it's the shortest clip that you'll hear. And then there's the medium one, which is a little bit longer. And then there's the long one.
This is like the film version of Name That Tune, basically.
Okay.
Well, no, because Name That Tune, you'd call out, try to undercut how many notes. This is a totally different thing. This is not the film version of Name That Tune. I take all that back.
Yes. So we had a lot of fun doing this last year. Mm-hmm. And, certainly there were some challenges, and I was definitely surprised by how little I remembered and knew. And it was just a joy to do. And
I think I made it too hard last year because the example you sent to me, they were doing clips that were less than a second long for the shortest. And then you said that was what we would do. And then when we actually got down to it, you had done like clips that were 3 seconds, and I had done clips that were less than a second long.
Mm-hmm.
So
I felt like they were 3 seconds for a reason, because I was like, there needs to be more. Just like a little hint. Because deep down, it's not like, oh, I have to win this game. It's more of just, I hope you can figure this out. If you can't, it's no big deal.
At any
rate, it's not like a competition.
I overcorrected, I think, and then it is a competition. We're scoring it, and there's going to be a winner.
Well, yeah, I know. There will be a winner, but
I think I overcompensated and I made it way too easy. So I think you're going to get them all, other than like one is a real... one's real hard, and then like one of my bonus is real hard.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll have any crossover picks. I don't know if we did last year, but I think one of us chose primer, one of us chose upstream color. I think that was as close as we got. But yeah, so this time, instead of just scores, samples from scores, various scores from films, this time there's going to be dialogue. This time you'll hear characters speaking lines. I have a little bit of both, some scores and some dialogue. So this is now officially called Tonal Recall.
Tonal.
Is that what I said?
I heard total, but I could be totally mistaken. It's recorded. The audience will know.
You're totally
mistaken.
Okay.
Yes.
So who should go first? I'm not picky. What happened last year? Whoever went first, who went first last year? He's turning into Jimmy Page. No, not Jimmy Page. Robert Plant.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Hit me.
Let an earthquake crumble it.
One more time.
Let an earthquake crumble it.
That's so weird.
Well, now I hear it. I think it's 25th Hour.
You're right.
Okay. It sounded like Edward Norton's New York accent. It already sounded like a super... like overblown jazz thing, which is already kind of I was leaning either a neo-noir or Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I heard "Let an Earthquake Crumble It," it's like, oh yeah, that's from his speech in the 25th hour.
Very good. Very good.
That is very strange, though. That
I'm going to play the long one. Do you hear any dialogue? When I play
go
the
for it.
Let an earthquake crumble it. Let the fires rage. Let it burn to fucking ash.
Now that I'm
let
listening,
the waters rise and submerge this whole
now I hear it. Did you just change something? Because I also. All right, so just now I'm now hearing my own voice, which I haven't been this whole time.
I wonder what happened. Maybe it's just the headphones.
Did you click something?
No.
Okay, maybe it's the cord. Maybe. Oh, now I don't hear it. All right, now I do. Okay, so it's something. It's the angle of the cord, I guess.
Oh. I hope that doesn't keep happening for you.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Let me know if you don't hear dialogue.
25th hour.
So you got the full points.
I got the full 7 points. It's what's the scoring again? It's 7 what?
753.
753. All right. Well, I got 7 points. And now let's go to clip A.
Okay. For me.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be twins. Huh? Twins.
Twins? Were you able to hear that?
I was able to hear that. Okay. Yeah, well, because now I hear my own voice.
Okay. Twins. Well, it's definitely not the movie Twins.
I wonder what it's like to be twins. Huh? Twins.
I don't
every
even know.
movie I chose is either something you gave 5 stars or in your top 100.
That's correct. Wow. What movies do I love involve twins?
Repeat to me what the line of dialogue is.
I wonder what it's like to be twins. I wonder what it's like to be twins. Huh? Twins.
I wonder what it's like to be twins. It's not from Us. I'm going through all movies that it's not The Shining.
You don't have a list up, do you?
Huh?
You don't have like a list on your computer?
No.
Okay, no, you're just thinking. All right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of twins. Crap. It's not coming to me. I can't even recognize the actress's voice. That's saying that.
I think these are two very distinct voices. I think if you listen to the next longer, you'll probably be able to guess it just from who the actors are.
I do have to go to the next one, unfortunately. Nothing's coming to mind.
I wonder what it's like to be twins. Huh? Twins. That'd be weird. Do you think they know which one they are?
Oh my gosh. Huh. There's a southern twang.
Yep.
Going on. Wow. Oh, 3 women.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Shelley Duvall and Sissy Spacek both have super distinct voices.
Yes. I was thinking Sissy Spacek for a second there, but I was like, what movie? Yeah. No, I remember that scene. Yeah, okay. That's great. That's a great choice. Now I want to watch it again.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Actually, there was a choice. I won't give it away, obviously. There's a choice I made for you that I just went, I love this so fucking much, I have to go watch it right now.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully you haven't looked at my Letterboxd recently.
I have, but I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay. This one's probably maybe easy. We'll see. Hopefully you can hear people speaking. Okay, clip number 2 for Patrick.
Dring, 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 dring. Pick up. Pick up the phone.
Again, pretty long. Just because I felt you needed more than just ring, ring.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Dring, 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 dring. Pick up. Pick up the phone.
So my instinct is this is before sunrise.
God damn, you're on a roll.
I knew it's a French accent, so that's
yeah. I was just I was hoping you wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't recall this scene at all. Play the long version because I don't recall this part of the movie.
Okay.
Dring, 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 dring. Pick up. What? Pick up the phone.
Oh, hello.
Allô? Vanny, c'est Céline.
Ah,
Comment ça va?
ça va bien. Et toi?
Yeah. I don't remember this scene. I just knew French accent, and I had to hear it a second time to pick up Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, it's a scene where they're sitting in a restaurant and she's pretending to be calling her friend to cancel their plans because she wants to spend time with Ethan Hawke.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's a really great movie too. I should watch that again.
Yeah. Are they going to do
Yeah.
another one?
I don't know. How long has it been since Midnight? A few years?
2013?
Really?
Is it every
I mean, it's
7
like
years?
2015. So, when was Before Sunset?
2002, 2003?
Yeah. Maybe.
So is it every 6 years?
I thought it was every 9.
Every 9?
Yeah.
Before everybody wants some. They should cross them over.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think Richard Linklater's new movie, I'm surprised I haven't heard much about it, but I know it's got Kate Blanchett.
Well, his last movie was bad, so maybe this one's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, actually.
It was a bad movie.
Yeah. Disappointing. Okay, for me, it's B. What? Well, I definitely don't know it, but then suddenly the little percussion kicks in. I'm like, that sounds like an action movie for some reason.
Okay.
Like it could be.
Let's
Something
keep
from
walking-
the 80s.
Yeah. Keep walking this thought process down.
Schwarzenegger. But have I ever given a Schwarzenegger movie 5 stars? Well, maybe. One more time. Brum, 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 brum.
This is not a piece of music that I recalled. Like, oh, I should include that. Like, this is me searching around and finding this and going, oh, yeah, this is kind of interesting and distinctive. And it is evocative of this film, even though it doesn't necessarily instantly give it away. But I do think this is, like, once you know the film, you're like, yeah, that sounds like that film.
Yeah. I'm definitely hearing it in an action movie that I love, which I don't know if that happens very often.
No.
So, no, it's definitely not that. Damn. I'm not getting them right off the top. It's just, Wow. I guess I have to go medium.
I
again.
think some of our listeners definitely know. I think this is one of those things that they've seen it so much that this just instantly, even though it's not like iconic love theme from blank.
Terminator 2? Terminator 2.
That's your
That's my guess.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Go ahead and go a little longer, though. I don't think it's going to give you that much more.
I just hear that and think of Terminator. Wow.
Terminator
That really
2
gets dramatic.
is more ominous, right?
Yeah.
Terminator 2 has sort of a apocalyptic thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a little more camp, a little more arch.
I'm not going to go Predator, I don't think. Although I can hear it in there. It's so weird. Like, how about... No. Well, one of the action movies I know I've given 5 stars is Die Hard. Mm-hmm. Is it Die Hard?
It is.
Oh! Okay.
All right.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
let's
go
hear
ahead and
let's
play
hear
the
the
full
long
thing.
one. Yeah. I wonder what scene this was.
I think this is towards the end. I think this is where they're getting all the hostages up to the rooftop. Maybe this is like the camera showing the bomb.
Okay. Wow.
It's big. Like, this is Die Hard.
Yeah, now I can see it.
The music in Die Hard is super over the top and hilarious.
I guess
which is part of what makes it so fun and makes it a little more breezy and a little less serious. Mm-hmm. Predator is a good call too, also a John McTiernan movie.
Yeah.
But like Predator is again a little more serious, a little more ominous. Mm-hmm. I feel
Predator like this could have been the scene right before the CEO is killed.
Maybe.
I think maybe.
Because
I remember him walking around.
I think I recall the track being something hostage.
Oh, okay.
But maybe he is the hostage it's referring to. I can't remember at the moment.
Mm. Crap! I want to watch all these movies now. Mm-hmm. What the hell? I can't remember what this one was.
Clip 3.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting one. Let's try this one.
Okay.
How hard this is for me. You don't know how hard it is for me.
Yeah, it's Vanya on 42nd Street.
Damn.
How many fucking movies do I love that have, what's his name in them?
Well, I didn't think he was doing
Wallace
his
Shawn.
wild Wallace Shawn thing. He's doing the subtle Wallace Shawn thing.
I've seen Vanya on 42nd Street like 15 times.
God damn.
I used to play that at the video store constantly. He doesn't really do that voice much in that movie, but it's a very distinct voice.
Okay.
Like, if I liked a master builder, that would be my only other guess.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But like, you're not going to choose that. So yeah,
long clip here.
Yeah, do it.
Such a good scene.
How hard this is for me. You don't know how hard it is for me. You can't know.
What can we do, Uncle? All we can do is live.
I for a second I thought it was a different scene. I thought it was the scene where he is like trying to declare his love to Julianne Moore. Mm-hmm. Because Julianne Moore goes through so many harrowing scenes in that movie, but she's just laughing the whole time. Julianne Moore is insane in Vanya on 42nd Street. It's like the most incredible performance I've ever seen. What's her name?
Brooke Adams.
Brooke Adams is also very good.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She should act more. I don't see her in much. I just remember in Silence of the Lambs and Series 7.
She probably does a lot of stage stuff.
I can see that. Okay. I wonder if this is going to keep happening where you get him on the first one, I get him on the second one.
All right, well, let's see. I don't recall the order of these.
Yeah, all right, where am I? Okay, clip C.
Nope, yes.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Oh, God.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
I think that's a lot of info.
Yeah. It sounds like an animated movie. No?
Click it again. See.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Damn it. I'm going to kick myself for this one.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
This is another one people definitely already know and are screaming at their iPods.
Yeah.
It's also one of those...
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
If you think about the voice and then you think about your favorite movies, like the answer will instantly come to you.
It's Pixar. I know it. It's got to be Pixar. It's got to be Pixar.
Okay. So start there. What Pixar movies would qualify?
Is that the Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story 2?
You tell me.
I think it's Toy Story 2.
It is Toy Story 2, but it's not Mr. Potato Head.
Whose voice is that?
Click it again.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
It's Wayne Knight.
Oh.
The toy collector.
Oh, yeah.
Al from Al's Toy Barn.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, click the full clip. It's mostly music, but there's dialogue at the end to help you ensure you...
I haven't watched Toy Story 2 in a long time.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Is the specimen ready for cleaning?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, no way you don't get it on this one.
No kidding. Good score. Nice.
That there was more. Did you cut it off early or whatever? It's not important.
I like it. That's a good choice. Again, it's something I haven't seen in a long time.
I just want to make sure the site's working properly.
It should be.
Okay. Did you cut that off early or did it end prematurely?
I think I cut it off early.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fine. No problem. It's not important.
Okay. This one better be what it says it is. Oh, wait. What the hell? It's like they all got pushed back by one. Okay. That's kind of annoying, and that's concerning. Maybe I should go about my files instead. I wonder why that happened. Okay, let's just do this.
Oh, well...
I tried to choose a less obvious part of the score.
That is the most obvious.
Really?
That is the most memorable piece of music from that movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
if you were doing the part where Elliot
I'm
is
making this too easy again.
Remember when Elliot is sort of riding his bike through the woods and he's sort of dropping Reese's Pieces? Something like a scene like that probably has less memorable, but that's literally the theme of E.T. No, that's Star Trek. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
It's E.T.
It evolved. It really evolved. I gotta check this out. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, they all got pushed back by one.
This is literally the bike scene.
Well, this part, yeah.
The whole scene is the bike scene.
Once you get to da 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 da, yeah.
No, I
okay.
That's one of the most distinct musical scores in film history, and you chose the most memorable part. So,
damn it!
I mean,
I'm definitely going to.
Yeah,
easy
you're definitely one of these. I chose. I don't think you have a chance in hell of getting because it's the opposite. It's the least distinct score ever, but it's a movie you love. So I was like, maybe.
Is it the next one? Let's find out.
I have no memory of what order.
Is this? I think we're on D.
You okay?
Oh, God.
You okay?
Wow.
That is very little to work with. I mean, especially, again, compared to what you've been giving me. This is also, I don't know how memorable this scene is because I haven't seen this movie.
Oh, really?
This literally could be the most incidental word, but it came up during a YouTube search, so I assume that it was a memorable one.
It'd be funny if we just went with "Hi,"
yeah,
"Hello," something like that. It's kind of in the same ballpark.
If I should have just picked waiters from movies the entire thing, y'all ready to order?
I have to go medium.
Go for medium.
You okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh my God.
You want to hear a story I've been working on?
Okay, that's 7 points. If you can get it off that's 7.
Wow. Who is that voice? I know that voice. Sound creepy, but I should know who that is.
You okay?
Feels like something I
I'll
watched.
see you tomorrow.
You want to hear a story I've been working on?
Wow. Wow. Who's writing? What movies have writers?
So few. Why on earth would a writer write a film about a writer? That's like asking which novels are about writers. It's just impossible to think of one.
Shit. Shit.
7 points for that. I think you'll get it on the longest one.
All right.
It's more distinct.
Let's go. You can give me 5 on the long.
I will. Yeah.
You okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
You want to hear a story I've been working on? Of course. It's a kid's story, so there aren't any big words.
Oh. Short term 12.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Bree.
Yeah. I've never seen it, so I
That's a good scene to play.
okay.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad.
All right.
Definitely
5
got
points.
me. Okay. I still have to go with.
That's another one that it's like, why didn't you assign that to me to watch?
You're right. Next time, I will have other birthdays.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, now we're at a proper challenge. Play it one more time.
Oh, shoot. What happened there?
My instinct. You already did Dream Warriors, but my instinct is the first Nightmare on Elm
Damn
Street.
it. Yeah.
There's that. Is this when Tina pulls his face off? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Man, you're good. Wow.
Because there's that weird little trilling electronic sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird electronic noises in that first Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
That's definitely one of the first death scenes I'd ever seen as a child, and it stayed with me.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Christ
Though
almighty.
it is funny that it's like preceded by the goofy ass shit of him like, hey, watch this. And he cuts his finger off and like green goo comes out. And then it's like, oh no, actually she is stripped naked and torn apart on the ceiling. It's way worse than you thought it was going to be.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
The trilling, it gave it away. You're too good. It's too easy.
I guess so. Okay, what's
Also,
next?
I will be fair. To be fair, you are drawing from a pool of movies that's much smaller than yours because I don't like that much.
Yeah, you rarely give out 5 stars.
4.5 stars is very rare to me. I don't think I even gave Nightmare on Elm Street 5 stars. I think I just gave that a 4.5.
I
Yeah,
think so.
so, like-
I went through some 4.5s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to get something on the first.
He says that forests embellish the land and that they instill in man a love of beauty.
Oh, that's Vanya.
You got it. I didn't want to say anything when you did Vanya, but
Yeah. That's definitely.
Is that one of the
Brooke
clips
Adams.
you looked for?
I
Did
think
you run into that clip while you were
What-
looking for a Vanya clip, or?
Yeah, I think I found that online too.
I don't know if I would have
He
got
says-
that one on the first try, but go ahead, do the longest.
He says that forests embellish the land and that they instill in man a love of beauty.
Yeah, I
That
remember
they raise the mind. They moderate the climate, and in the lands where the climate is milder, then people struggle less with nature, and the people in those lands are milder and gentler, and their speech is more refined, and their movements are more graceful, and they cultivate the arts and sciences, and there's joy in their philosophy, and they treat women with nobleness.
That's one of the few full Wallace Shawn
Oh yeah.
voices. But yeah, that moment is so good where
It
she's
is.
just like, oh, you dummy. You're like, everyone knows you're in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're so obvious. I I also really, for whatever reason, I always think about the description, their movements are more graceful. I think about, that is, for whatever reason, a very vivid image, an idea of a people whose movements are more graceful because of their proximity to a forest.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. But, yeah,
Is
Vanya,
that Andre Gregory? Is that the actor who's in that scene, too?
Wait, hold on.
The guy plays the love interest.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'm straight sevens, and then you're okay. Andre Gregory is the director. No,
Louis Mal's
the director. Andre Gregory was the director of the stage production.
Oh, okay.
The history of Vanya 42nd Street is they had been running this play for years without any intention of ever producing it for the stage. Mm-hmm. And then at some point they realized they were going to stop, so they had Louis Malle film it.
Right.
So Andre Gregory is in the movie as Andre Gregory, the director of these actors.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that now.
Because that's one of the things that makes that movie amazing is the actors just play themselves as people about to perform the movie, about to perform the play.
Yeah.
And so they're all in their street clothes with a very minimal set and it sort of just takes you by surprise that the play starts.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay. What the hell was this?
Regina, my partner Regina is an actor, and Regina fucking pines for the idea of getting to rehearse a play for 4 years. Like, oh wow. Like, it's like, we never have to pay it off. We never have to perform. We just get to endlessly rehearse. It's a fucking actor's dream.
What if we just did the same podcast for 4 years?
Just
practice it over and over again.
That's a podcaster's nightmare.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, I'm just bailing her out of her current situation.
Okay, that's a very distinct voice. That is Mistress America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, oh man,
Yeah. Go ahead, play the full one.
I try not to play an obvious one with
that
like
is
Greta
not an
Gerwig.
obvious one, but yeah, no, it just came to me. That guy's voice is very distinct. He's very funny in that movie.
He's great in that.
I'm just bailing her out of her current situation.
And then for the whole restaurant?
No, I'm not going to do the restaurant now. It's just gotten too crazy.
Oh.
This is a good result. This is even better than getting the restaurant. Less financial uncertainty.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie.
It's so good.
Oh, that movie's so good. Mistress America.
Another one I want to watch again.
Yeah. That's another one that I've played at the video store at least 20 times.
Well, that makes sense. I guess I'm just choosing ones you've heard a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this next one is the really wicked one.
Oh, shit.
So we'll see.
Oh, shit.
So that to me sounds like a super generic score, but I love this movie, so you do have a chance.
Yes, I know I love it. I know it. I swear. Wow. Safe.
Yeah, you got it, man. I didn't think it... Ooh, pull that off.
Well, I listened to that score a lot.
Really?
Yes.
That score's bad.
Really?
That score, it sounds like the most generic Casio keyboard tones. Like, it sounds like a direct-to-video
It's so haunting
movie.
to me. I don't know. It really
maybe it's
creeps
like
me
you
out.
have an emotional attachment to it because of the images and
Yeah.
But, like, I was just sort of like, what is the score to Safe? And I listened to it, and I'm like, this is terrible. This is like a shot-on-video horror movie score.
Maybe that's why I like it.
Maybe. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. I will play the long score real quick. Oh, yeah. This is so good. Yeah. I don't know. I've always found that score to be really haunting. Ed Tomney. Who the heck is Ed Tomney? What else did he do?
It's like an alias for Todd Haynes.
Wow. He hasn't done a lot.
No.
Carnosaur 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It sounds like the fucking score for a Carnosaur level movie.
Wow. I don't know why. I mean, maybe not the whole score, but certainly that piece. I don't know why. It really...
What is the scene that accompanies?
It's the opening credits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have the
I know.
sound of my headphones now.
Oh, shit.
We'll see. Go ahead and play the next one. We'll see if we have the same problem.
Wonder why it goes in and out like that.
Connection.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's the next part. Boom, boom, bum, 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 bum.
So you know it.
So you can't play the longer one. The problem is, what the fuck movie is that?
Oh, I thought you would know it.
I know it. I know that movie. I've seen it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it recently, I want to say, even. Mm-hmm. I mean, the worst part is, like, you playing it longer does not help me at all, because I know the entire piece of music. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck. Like, it's an Asian film, maybe? Or it's not. it's either an Asian film or it isn't.
Definitely
that
a
we know
movie.
for sure. It's definitely a film.
Yes.
A
very renowned composer indeed.
Is it?
I would say so.
Is it Hangover Square?
Yeah. Damn
okay.
it.
I think that was what gave you away.
Wow. I should just shut my mouth.
Yeah, but no, I definitely knew that I had watched that, heard that in the past couple months.
Such a good score.
That's the Hangover Square Suite or whatever. Or the Dance Macabre or the. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have got it. Oh, it's so good.
God bless you, Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah, Bernard Herrmann, all right.
Wow.
I think there's probably some Bernard Herrmann on my list.
Really? Where are we?
I don't recall what Bernard Herrmann did. So why don't you go play the next one?
Taxi Driver, Psycho.
Yeah.
Ooh. That sounds like Wes Anderson. But
yeah?
Which Wes Anderson?
Play it again.
It's not Rushmore. Royal Tenenbaums.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. I just pictured like Christmas with Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm. It's too big to be Rushmore.
Yeah. This must have been like during one of the transitions.
Yep.
Or no, maybe was it the opening credits?
I don't think it's the opening credits. The opening credits are Hey Jude, right?
I think so.
No, Hey Jude's the intro. The opening credits plays before the intro. The opening credits don't play over the intro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the opening credits then.
Yeah, it might be.
All right.
That's a tough rewatch for me.
Jiggle. Yeah, it is a tough rewatch because it's not very good.
Shut up.
Oh, man, you want to talk about a movie that hasn't aged well?
Mm-hmm. Well, we all know why it works for me, but
why is that?
Dad.
Oh yeah.
Dad stuff.
Sure.
I literally saw that like a month after he died, so yeah, the ending was kind of rough.
Sure.
So upbeat.
You motherfucker. Did you choose a piece of music I hate? That sounds like one of those fucking shitty 90s scores that we've talked about, like for like Groundhog's Day or like Quick Change or Midnight Run. Go ahead and play it one more time. Learning to use your America Online account.
Oh my God.
Soon you'll be surfing the World Wide Web. God, that's awful. Okay, so I am believing you that this is from a movie I like, but that music is fucking shitty. Play it one more time.
I don't mind the music, to be honest. I'm actually very surprised.
That's like fucking employee training video music. That's awful. God.
I think it's just a genuine surprise when I discover the composer is because it's nothing like anything he's done before.
I can't believe Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor scored Quick Change.
This is the Social Network.
Just play it one more time for me, and then I'll make a guess. So here is the thing. Last year, you picked some movies that weren't actually favorites of mine.
Yeah, I just assumed
or like
maybe.
At one point were favorites of mine.
Mm-hmm. Eternal Sunshine.
So there's another movie that falls into that category that at one point I'm sure I described to you as a favorite of mine that I don't actually like anymore.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to go ahead and guess that now. Groundhog's Day?
No.
Okay.
Although I could see this playing during the opening credits, yeah. Like the Weatherman song.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so play the medium length track.
You don't like Groundhog Day anymore?
It's okay. Here is what Groundhog's Day is. Groundhog's Day is Trump County telling the city guy that he needs to learn small town values. Guess what? That don't play no more. We know what Punxsutawney's small town values are. That whole fucking town is white except for one magical bartender who just sort of like, I don't know. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that movie doesn't play so well anymore because it's just like, why can't you just learn to be nice and mediocre? Also, like, Andie MacDowell as an object of like unparalleled love that spans across lifetimes is like, no, what? There's nothing about her that I believe him like falling in love with. She's really mediocre. Remember when she says, he toasts to the groundhog and she gives him the shittiest look. Like, I always drink to world peace. That's where I throw my drink on the ground and go, bitch, later, and walk out. Because fuck off, you pretentious asshole. I always drink to world peace. I can't believe you would drink to anything else than world peace. What? You don't believe in world peace? Fuck off. That movie's really...
I think at that point in the movie, though, he's just trying to get laid again.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't know that. It's her. No. It's the first time she's experiencing it. And she is just like... I can't believe the groundhog. That's so... Why would you waste something as sacred as a toast on the groundhog? It's like you're not a serious
You're
person.
Killing me.
It's not a bad movie.
No.
It's like a very inventive movie, and there's parts of it that really work, and like parts of Bill Murray's performance are still hilarious.
Yeah.
But Regina loves that movie, and they watch it every year, and... Every year I like a little less. Like every year I get a little less tolerant of Chris Elliott. Every year I get a little less tolerant of, why can't you just learn to be a good small town person? Like, no, you aren't good people.
Okay.
78% Trump voters.
Well, you're wrong. It's not Groundhog Day.
Okay, let's go with the next longest.
I'm just going to get mad at you.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't help at all. That doesn't help at all. That's really bad. What movie do I like has an awful fucking like 80s/90s aesthetic? You hear that?
Yeah.
You hear a little bird?
I did.
Listen.
Giving you a cue.
Tell me,
a clue.
Tell me. Little bird. Birds of the sky, will me your knowledge.
It's Birdemic.
Yeah, absolutely. I would believe Birdemic having like a weird, like, oh yeah, one of the weird facts about Birdemic is they got all of their music from a public domain or Creative Commons fucking like training video depot. I like that. Play it one more time. It doesn't help me anymore at all.
I'll just play the long one and you can get 5 if you know it.
If you, sure.
It's so upbeat.
I might reconsider liking this movie. Tell me the name of the movie. I have no guess.
Midnight Run.
I give that 4.5 stars.
Oh yeah, you did, and it made me happy.
All right,
it's a great fucking movie.
I had disqualified Midnight Run in my mind because I thought I only gave it 4 stars. But fair enough, that movie's really good.
You gave it 4.5, and you said the only thing that I can't stand is the score.
The score is fucking trash. Okay, I should have guessed. I should have officially guessed Midnight Run instead of wasting one. But whatever,
it's fine.
That's fine.
You're good. You're doing good.
All right, I'll give myself a 0 on that one.
All right.
God, people were fucking. I'm telling you, Reagan. It's fucking white America. Like that's like the most soulless, fucking lifeless, awful crap. Like shit ass, quote unquote music.
You know who did the score?
Possibly imagine who.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird to me.
That is strange.
Never in a million years would I have thought that. There are parts of that score I actually like. Not that part, but there's like... It's like almost like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is very similar because they go on a long road trip. Like
so
the little
you mean
guitar.
It has a shitty score. Yeah. Now I'm feeling... It's just like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I like the little slide guitar going...
Man. Can you, real quick... Can we put this on this game on pause just for 30 seconds? Can you go on YouTube and search for the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles score? I want you to listen to this and tell me you like it.
I don't think I do.
All right. Well, let's listen to it anyway. Because I just
medley. What the?
I need my agony over 80s comedy scoring. Like I remember we were talking maybe over. Oh, God. Fuck off.
You got something against harmonicas?
I think I do. I think I might. Well, this kind of harmonica. Like, I like the... Sorry, turn it off. I could have slit my wrist. I remember, I think you emailed me, or we were talking in some way, and you were talking about the movie Twins, and you told me... Yeah, the score in that movie is terrible. And I'm like, where have you been? All 80s comedies have terrible scores. You're like, yeah, it's weird. Like, it's just like bad kind of blues rock. And I'm like, no shit. Every fucking mainstream Hollywood comedy in the 80s were scored during the like interstitial music to Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Like, all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. All right.
I believe you now.
Let's.
I do. I think you're right. I think it's just because I know it. Like I watched the movie millions of times, and it's like it's embedded into my head. It's like Stockholm syndrome.
You know what has a good score? Billy Madison.
I feel like we talked about that at one point.
It's one of the few things I know in this world.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've mentioned it.
It's pretty good.
All right, I'm curious as to what your next one is because I can't recall the order,
and I can't recall which one we were on.
Let's see. I just did 8.
Okay.
So it's on letters.
G?
Count it out.
Oh, no, we did that. Okay, so it's H.
All right.
Do you need some cash for the bus?
Nah, I got a few bucks.
Yes. You can count on me.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That was a super gimme because it gave both the lead actors voices.
I love that movie.
But there's only so many scenes from that movie on YouTube, so...
First time I saw that was with my ex who like went nuts over that movie, and I was like, it was all right.
Yeah.
I was almost like, I don't know why you love it so much. And then I watched it like many years later. I'm like, oh my God, Kenneth Lonergan is just the Best Writer.
That movie's really good.
And Mark Ruffalo.
I still think Manchester by the Sea is way better. But
I don't like Casey Affleck as much. I mean, I know as a person he's a kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But
like,
I mean,
I'm not going to. That's why I made that reaction, because I don't want to jump to the defense of Casey fucking Affleck. But,
right. But there are individual scenes that are amazing in that. Okay.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
I want to play the long clip for you. Can
yeah. Go for it.
Do you need some cash for the bus?
Nah, I got a few bucks. Aren't you gonna be late for work?
Go. Yeah, it's okay. Terry, I don't even know where you're going.
Well, yeah, I don't really have a concrete plan yet. I gotta go back to Worcester and get my stuff.
Oh, you gonna try and see that girl?
Yeah, you know, I thought maybe I'd try and show my face, let her brother have a crack at me.
What?
No.
I don't want anybody to have a crack at you.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Also, like that weird period of time where Matthew Broderick was just in a string of interesting indie films.
Yeah. Election.
Mm-hmm. Others. State
there
and Maine.
are others.
Is State and Maine indie? Probably not.
He's not in State and... Matthew Broderick's not in State and Maine.
Matthew Broderick is not in State and Maine. You're right.
Yeah.
Why did I think he was in State and Maine? Because Philip Seymour Hoffman role could have been played by Matthew Broderick? Perhaps.
Maybe
it wasn't a string. I don't think 2 films is a string. And I don't think Welcome to Pleasantville is an interesting indie film.
Yeah, and he wasn't in Pleasantville.
Not Pleasant. Welcome to
Mooseport? No.
The Kellogg Institute.
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Road to Wellville.
No. There we go.
Yeah. What else was he in? Now, like, thinking besides Election, and you can count on me that I was like, oh, that's cool that he's in this and doing pretty good. No, I'll look it up later. Let's see what your number 9 is.
All right.
Do you like Emily Dickinson?
Oh, well, that's Patterson.
Wow.
I'll give myself a 7 there.
Damn. I think just somebody asking a question like that. Well, I mean, it's about a poet, so okay.
I just use a little brain wet. I just think, all right, let's free associate. What kind of movie would this be in? And the answer is Patterson.
Yeah,
it's a very memorable scene too.
I tried to avoid the very distinctive voice of Adam Driver.
Sure, yeah, that would be a dead giveaway.
That's such a good scene, though.
Yeah, play it in full.
I love this movie too.
Do you like Emily Dickinson?
I do, yeah. She's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Bus driver that likes Emily Dickinson.
Yeah, if you hadn't gotten it at that point, I'd have been like, who are you?
Awesome. A bus driver that loves Emily Dickinson, whose name is the same as the city he lives in.
Mm-hmm.
Does that new Jim Jarmusch movie look super awful to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I've seen that trailer like 3 times now.
I'm like, isn't this just Zombieland?
Yeah, like zombie comedy.
Nah.
I thought Jim Jarmusch would never get less cool than like including weird Three Stooges stock footage in that Iggy Pop documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, doing a zombie comedy in 2019, pretty bad. Maybe it's great. Who the fuck knows? But sure doesn't seem like it.
Nah.
All right.
I'll still see it.
What's your I? I think it's I we're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vertigo?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a gimme.
You were right. There was Bernard Herrmann.
That's
a very distinctive score.
When I first said, "Oh, there's Bernard Herrmann coming up," I was like, "Oh fuck, why'd you say that, idiot?" And then I was like, "Wait, no, that's the easiest clip in my entire pick. Like, of course he'll get that."
Oh yeah, a movie that Patrick does not like.
No, I don't.
You're in good company. William Friedkin, Tarantino, a couple people out there don't like it. Yeah.
Any good people? Any people that I want to spend an extended period of time with? All right.
Okay.
I am. You know. You want to hear something fun? I'm 1 point behind you.
Oh my god.
Because I have a 0 and the lowest you have is 5. So
Oh, wow.
So you lost 6 points, and I've lost 7 points. So
this is getting interesting.
This is
We're still going to do the
way
backup.
closer.
We'll do the backup clips.
One more time.
Oh, so good.
One more time.
We had such a good time.
It sounds familiar, but I... One more time.
I love this score.
Okay, my first guess is Cabin in the Woods.
No.
Okay. That was literally just from we had such a great time seeing this. Like
I want to say something, but I can't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will afterwards.
Play the next longest one. Nope. Not ringing a bell. I want to say, like, it sounds old-fashioned. Like, it sounds like it's like a Brian De Palma sort of over-the-top thing. But I want to say it's more modern than that. It's a movie that's, like, calling back to that. I'm specifically not looking at you because I'm not trying to fish for, like, reactions to see how close I am. But I am, like, trying to work this out in my head. Play one more time, the medium length. Or it's like ironic, like it's like the score is in a comedy, but it's something kind of silly and it's sort of being ironic. I don't know. I do not know.
I don't know. I can't really give any.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
It's tempting. You can still get 3 points.
Well, I want to make a guess for 5 at least.
Okay.
Can you play it one more time?
Yeah.
So this is my guess, even though I know it's incorrect. But this is what I'm thinking. It's the kind of movie like Burn After Reading.
Yeah.
Where it's like this is being used ironically. That's my guess, which I know is wrong because of your reaction. Mm-hmm. So let's just go to the longest clip. But that's where my head is at. No.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think you won because I don't think I'm going to get this.
We had such a good time seeing this. It kind of involves a cabin in the woods. Kind of. Eventually, a bunch of characters wind up in a cabin. Not necessarily in the woods, though.
Oh, is this Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you gave me that. I don't even want to take 3 points from that.
No, you can.
No, I'm going to do 0 points on that because you are like giving me the plot synopsis.
All I had to do was listen to this score, and I went and watched it.
This is a film I've seen exactly once. When it came out. And yeah, I don't really like the score very much.
Really?
No.
I still think it's great. I really do.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. Even with the Netflix, they split it up into 4 parts. You know about that?
I'm aware it happened, but I'm not going to watch that. That seems. I have the actual film on Blu-ray, and like nothing about Hateful Eight says it needs to be longer, let alone television.
It's the Roadshow version that we saw at the Music Box, but just split into 4 parts.
Okay.
like every scene I remembered, and I was like, "This isn't new. None of this is new. I've seen all this before." So.
Yeah, well then I don't care.
Yeah, it's hey, we got to be excited, right? July.
What's that?
We're going to see the new Tarantino movie together.
Oh yeah. All right, sure.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to be as excited. It's fine.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I think it will be. I like
all right,
him.
Jay. Do I have a Jay?
Yeah. What the? What? Sounds like it could be a horror movie, but I feel like I should know this.
Then listen to it again.
I really do.
I think this is super obvious. I think it's super obvious, so I won't say anymore. Sorry, I talked over that.
It's okay. I mean, it sounds creepy. And like you hear a little oh in the background that makes me think it's like a horror movie or a ghost or something, but
it's a horror movie or you recorded a ghost. It makes me think it's either a horror movie or this is what ghosts sound like.
But that last note at the end makes me think it's Upstream Color.
Yeah, I should have cut out that last note.
Because my brain was hearing that, like, at the end. Yeah, okay, now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, like, I don't remember the twinkly little xylophone-y kind of sound at the beginning.
Intro. It's the intro to the track.
Yeah, I didn't remember this part. Oh, let's play the long one, sorry.
I haven't watched this movie in years.
It's a hard movie to watch.
I'm
again.
afraid to.
Yeah.
All right. So with all of our 10 clips, it's 64 to 56. We can do the bonus ones.
Yeah,
for
let's do the bonus ones. We'll see what happens if you get them.
Yeah,
you can count them. All right. Do I have the backup clips elsewhere? Hold on.
And if you're going to freak out every time that you see a frozen chicken, I think we should go to the hospital.
Say it one more time.
Why it's so quiet? Hold on.
And if you're going to freak out every time that you see a frozen chicken, I think we should go to the hospital.
Is that Casey Affleck? Is this Manchester by the Sea?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all good.
Uh-huh.
All right. Bonus for me.
Are you traveling light or heavy?
Heavy.
Oh, wow.
This is a gimme.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you traveling light or heavy?
Heavy.
Everyone knows it.
Oh, no. I don't want to feel dumb.
You do. You feel dumb right now because everyone else instantly knows.
I don't know what it could be, and it sounds familiar.
Are you traveling light or heavy?
Heavy.
What is that?
I don't know. I was giggling.
I have to go medium. I'm sorry.
To medium.
Are you traveling light or heavy?
Heavy.
Flying?
Flying and by ship.
An ocean voyage?
Yes.
Ah, yes. So.
Okay.
A real journey.
Okay. Joe versus Volcano.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Damn it. How many movies have a scene with a luggage salesman?
It's the only scene in the movie that's really good.
Oh, shut up. Let's see if you can get your last one.
All right.
No! No!
One more time.
No! No!
I definitely know that. Nothing's coming to mind, though.
Yeah.
Do a little longer?
Somebody's screaming a name, possibly.
Right. Like you don't know, motherfucker.
No! 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 No!
That doesn't help.
This is a memorable moment.
All right, let's just do the longest.
Okay.
Anthony! No! No!
And this beautiful score kicks in.
Oh, okay. So it's Clouds and Sills Maria.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good.
I love this. That's a very memorable moment.
You love Pachelbel's canon?
I kind of do. I know it's been used to death and it plays at every wedding, but I'm always like, this is pleasant. I really like this. Not bad, huh? That was a good run.
All right. 66 to 69 is the ultimate.
Wow. I got 69.
Wait, is that right? Oh, I guess it is. All
Nice.
right. Wait.
Well, you won last year. So.
Well, no, I'm trying to... I think maybe you had 74. Yeah, I think you had 74. Whatever. At any rate, that is...
Tonal recall.
No, because you have one more. That's why. You have bonus clip B.
I
That's why
do.
it's not adding up right.
Okay, there's one more. Okay.
Okay, Center. Every 31, the traffic is turned. He's heading right for my windshield. We're turning right immediately and leaving flight level 350 now.
Aries 31, descend and maintain flight level 310.
Whoa. I didn't know it until maybe at the end. God. I don't think it's airplane. It doesn't sound silly enough to be airplane.
Okay, Center. Aries 31, the traffic is turned. He's heading right for my windshield. We're turning right immediately and leaving flight level 350 now.
Aries 31, descend and maintain flight level 310.
Close Encounters.
Yeah, that's it.
Ugh.
All right.
Wow. I liked it. I liked it more this year. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, you like the dialogue?
Although
clips?
I did, yeah. I did. I like mixing them up.
Okay.
It's fun. We'll do it again next year. I'll try and get a little more difficult. Jeez. But you did good, and we both did good in the end. So
I mean, considering you won, I think you were difficult enough.
Yeah. But yeah, we both had a match, or we both had the same movie for once.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're really going to be scratching the bottom of the barrel, though, now, like, what's left of my 4.5 star movies.
I can dig deep, I'm sure. Okay, so yeah, I really would like to see everybody at the Chicago Critics Film Festival this year. It's playing at the Music Box Theater, as it has for the past 6 years. Friday, May 17th to Thursday, May 23rd. You can get your festival pass at $150, but you can also buy individual screening tickets as well. There's a lot of cool titles being shown this year, Patrick. I know you're excited for some, and I know I am too.
Prove it.
No, I know you are.
Which one?
In Fabric. Directed by Peter Strickland.
Oh, right. That dude.
Yeah.
That dude's good.
I'm looking forward to Saturday. There's you got Alien playing with Tom Skerritt in attendance. The new Danny Boyle film Yesterday. And then...
Wait. That Yesterday?
Yeah.
That's playing at the Chicago Critics Film Festival?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you really? Are you really looking forward to Yesterday?
I kind of
Chicago Critics Film Festival is a fine event, and I'm not shit-talking the Chicago
I know, it is.
Critics Film Association, or whatever the fuck you people are called. But are you really excited about Danny Boyle's Yesterday?
I like the Beatles, so I don't know. I'm kind of interested in what... I mean, it looks silly, but it might be good silly. It might... I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
It's the worst trailer I have seen in years. It looks so awful, but
there's Beatles puns I like.
I mean, maybe like Secret Life of Pets 2 or something has a worse trailer.
Of course, I did look forward to Across the Universe based on the trailer, and I didn't like that.
Across the Universe looks like 17 times more interesting.
Visually, yeah.
And whatever. Yesterday is playing, everybody.
Ringing endorsement from Patrick.
Isn't that going to be a wide release film?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Maybe making an effort to see a movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
I mean, I'm just seeing it because it's playing right before In Fabric, and I'm like, hey, Saturday I'm there.
Okay.
There's a documentary called Our Time Machine, which I'm looking forward to. There's the new Riley Stearns film, The Art of Self-Defense, with Jesse Eisenberg. So, and The Nightingale, I'm going to try and see that Sunday night. The latest from the director of The Babadook. Mm-hmm. The Farewell, which is getting a lot of buzz. Asian film, I believe. And a lot of great titles. There's 2 of them starring Jim Gaffigan, of all people. And it's dramatic roles for him, I believe. So, that'll be interesting. There's a lot of great titles, everybody. I hope you'll come out. I'll be there. Definitely Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully Monday night. And, there's a lot of great guests, including Tatiana Maslany? Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know who that is.
Orphan Black.
Yeah. Still not ringing. Okay. I don't know what Orphan Black is.
Okay. It's a show about clones with Tatiana Maslany. I can't say the name right. I don't think that's how you say it, but that's okay.
Okay.
And it's a good event, and I just support the Chicago Critics. They do a lot of hard work. Colin always knows how to put out a great shorts program. A lot of great. He always shows some really interesting stuff that way. And he's got 2 separate programs. One of them does run, I believe, Saturday at 1 p.m. Please go to the Music Box Theater. You can go to musicboxtheater.com or chicagocriticsfilmfestival.com.
And I'm sorry for shit talking yesterday.
It's okay.
From the Chicago Critics Association is
Chicago Film Critics Association.
Yeah, if anyone's listening, I apologize. I shit talked yesterday. I'm sure whoever chose that to be in the festival loves it for good reasons, and it's great. And I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It might be good. It might not. It's written by Richard Curtis,
who wrote
Notting Hill
and Love Actually. Oh, so it's from a bad writer. That's good. Well, that's promising. Danny Boyle's on a string of hits. What was his last movie?
Trainspotting 2.
Yeah, Sure was. This is why I'm not around people anymore. This is why I choose not to subject people to me.
Yeah, I haven't liked a Danny Boyle movie in a while, but I'm
a fucking black hole of negativity. I apologize. I'm sure
I like
great.
the concept.
There's plenty of movies that aren't yesterday that are playing at the Chicago Film Critics Association.
Yeah, ones you'll like. I mean, last year, we saw Support the Girls, a couple of good ones.
That was the only one I think I saw last year.
Really? Huh.
I think so.
I had memories of you being there for more, but maybe not.
What else played last year?
I can't remember. But I remember it was a good year, I think.
Support the Girls is good.
Yeah.
Look it up. Why not? We're here.
Okay.
If anyone's still listening to this podcast, they're in for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well.
How you doing, Bill?
Yeah.
How are things?
Oh, boy.
Where is it? Oh, American Animals, which is pretty good. 8th Grade. First Reformed. You saw First Reformed.
That was the other one I saw.
Revenge, which is pretty good. Oh, there's more, but wait. Yeah. Full lineup there is okay. Yeah.
We have one more part to this podcast, Jim.
That's right. You're right. Absolutely.
All right, I'll get back up on the mic.
Oh, Leave No Trace played.
That movie's really good.
Madeline played. Oh, yeah, that was a good year.
You could have assigned Madeline to me this year.
God damn it. I was just like, let's have fun, Patrick. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's impossible. We never have fun.
No, this is a chore.
This is real work.
Is the opposite of fun.
This is back-breaking labor.
I want to hear what the Patrick Rapole... Speaking of film festivals... I would like to hear what the Patrick...
Are you all right?
I really... Well, it's a good segue, right? Because we were just talking about the Chicago Critics Film Festival.
All the best segues are yelled suddenly.
Yeah. The Patrick Rapole Film Festival. You get to program it at the Music Box for 12 hours.
Take a step back. You sent me an email with what?
Well, I my new partner was curious if I were to program a film festival of my own, what would I show in what order? And I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. I just thought maybe these titles would flow really well together if and when I had the opportunity to do this.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I didn't actually prepare anything.
Okay.
But you sent me your proposed list.
Yeah.
And what I want you to do is I want you to read this proposed list to me. And the way you set it up is from the first movie plays at 9 a.m., the last movie plays at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7 films, each gets a 2-hour slot.
Correct.
Okay. So.
Where the heck is it?
You're going to tell me the movies that you chose for your film festival, and you're going to tell me why you chose them for that slot. And then once I hear your reasoning, I will think of a comparable something that I would choose for a similar reason.
The problem is I really didn't put a whole lot of thought.
All right, well then I won't either.
It's really just like these might be cool to see back to back, or there's moments of levity, then we get serious, and then I don't know.
What was the first movie?
Bad Day at Black Rock.
Why do you start
older film?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still propulsive. It's still really intense, and catches your attention. It's like you want something at 9 a.m. In case people are a little tired. It's going to perk them up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Kansas City Confidential. That's my 9 a.m.
Okay.
You ever see Kansas City Confidential?
I don't think so.
Bank robbery. Everyone's wearing these creepy ass masks. I think Sterling Hayden's in it. No, that's The Killing. At any rate.
Oh, wow. Well, that would be a good choice, too.
The Killing is maybe a little too deliberately paced.
Yeah.
Kansas City Confidential. No, who was in Kansas City Confidential? Who was the bad in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
I should know right off the top of my head.
Lee Van Cleef.
Yes.
Lee Van Cleef
Yes.
I think, in Kansas City Confidential.
Yes, you're correct.
It is a crime noir film from the 50s. There is a bank robbery, and all this guy's partners turn on him and leave him for dead. They don't know he's not dead. He goes to get revenge on them. They're all wearing masks, so they don't know who he is, but he figures it out somehow. And it all takes place in this, it's either Florida or some tropical island, but it's all super fucking sweaty, and it's all black and white, just sweat glistening, really hard-edged, tense kind of cat and mouse game where he's trying to get revenge on these people.
That sounds good.
Kansas City Confidential is my 9 a.m. I'm going to
very
put that
very good.
There. What is your 11 a.m., Jim?
Bigger Than Life, directed by Nicholas Ray, starring James Mason.
Tell me about this film.
CinemaScope, beautifully shot. Mm-hmm. I want to see this on the big screen. Period. At some point, I hope. Mm-hmm. I keep telling Nicholas Ray, do that. Retrospective, yo. I think Godard thought it was one of the 10 best American movies ever made. Mm-hmm. And it's about pill addiction at a time when people weren't really talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's really intense. Mm-hmm. There's he gets really biblical, and there's a nice Abraham Isaac metaphor later in the film.
Mm-hmm.
that gets heavy. It's just something you don't expect to see in the 50s, this type of movie.
Okay.
It's dark. It's very dark.
Okay.
And I just thought, well, this is kind of a movie that I would show at a film festival because I want people to see it, and I want to see it on the big screen myself, and it's beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we're in the 50s still, but...
All right. Well, I think I'm going to jump to... I think this is the 60s. I'm going to jump to Victim with Dirk Bogarde. Can you look this up for me? I can't remember. I think it's
either.
Basil Drearden. It's a British film. It's a very early film about homosexuality.
Oh, yeah. Dirk. Oh, the servant guy, right?
Yes.
Dirk Bogarde.
Yeah. So he plays a prominent sort of barrister who is being blackmailed, and he is one of many gay men in this movie who are being blackmailed. And this was a real, actual, terrible problem that was going on in England back when homosexuality was criminalized. So it is half sort of issues movie about this sort of thing. These are people, they can't control who they are. They shouldn't be criminalized. It's like, it's still hedging its bets because of the era it's in. So it's still not fully like, hey, there's nothing wrong with being gay, fuck off. It's more like people can't control this affliction they have. So like, it's not totally empowering or whatever you want to say, but it is like a really good movie. And because it has this like blackmail plot, there is like a little bit of a thriller sort of a structure to it, which makes it way more interesting than than most sort of issues films. And it is like a 60s, what year is this?
1961.
So it's like a 60s British film. So it's black and white, and it's just that era of really, really beautiful black and white British sort of social dramas, where everything was all, shot on location. So you're seeing, real London, and it's just like a really cool, striking movie. Dirk Bogarde's really good in it.
I expect
he was an actual gay man, so there is that like element to it as well. And it's
color me curious.
So it's sort of a big drama that's beautiful, but still has sort of an energy and intensity, and that's why I chose that.
That's a good
to
choice.
Be your counterpart, or my counterpart to Larger Than Life.
And since Bigger Than Life is
Larger Than Life's the elephant,
right? I would show that at my film festival too.
Absolutely.
Bigger Than Life. I want to cheer people up afterwards. Okay. I kind of want to get silly for a bit.
Okay,
just a little bit with They Came Together, because I do think it's a very underrated comedy that I want more. I want the collective experience of seeing that in a movie theater with people, like you did, and it was a blast. I hadn't had that experience, and I don't know. I want people. If it's my film festival, damn it, I want some David Wayne in there.
You're also jumping half a century ahead in time.
I know.
So this is a real change of pace.
I'm jumping around.
Yeah.
Now I'm jumping around.
Okay. So I also have a movie that I really wish I could see in a crowded theater. I don't think it probably ever played in a crowded theater. It's A Disaster.
Oh, yeah.
One of my
that's a great choice. That's a great choice.
Comedies of the past however many years. I forget when it came out.
Yeah.
Might be 10 years now. But
I also think that's hilarious, yeah.
Absolutely hysterical, really funny, really sharp performances, really good writing, very smartly kind of low budget comedy, and also like it's a movie that no one like. I don't think it really got much of a release at all.
Yeah,
and even now, no one's really seen it. So seeing it in a big theater full of people who have never seen it before, which seems likely given how little it's known, it's a disaster. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, American Ferrera is great.
Yeah, American Ferrera is great. Really great ending.
Yeah,
that'd be fun to see in a theater. That ending.
What else would be fun is another underrated movie, The Informant. Okay. Steven Soderbergh's.
Is this under? I have no idea.
I guess like among my film critic circle of friends, they do love it. I would say, and I don't know. I want people to just experience this movie more, and it's kind of. We recently rewatched After Hours together, which was a joy for my birthday, and as I was watching, I was like, I wouldn't mind showing The Informant next time, just because like. I don't know. There's just something about the vibe of that, especially Matt Damon's performance. You don't see anything like that from him at all. And the score is really wacky. It's very yellow. I guess that's the only complaint I have is just the shot very yellow.
Soderbergh era where he was shooting on Alexas and everything. Yeah. It's just fucking look like.
But like you have these amazing comedians coming on as supporting players throughout the show, and it's, I don't know, I find it fascinating, and by the end it's kind of sad.
This is a really hard one to find equivalent to. Like my knee-jerk instinct is just to go to a different Soderbergh movie. I'd like to maybe branch out beyond that, but also I don't want to put that much effort into it. So I'll just say Schizopolis would be really fun to see in a theater.
Yeah, no, definitely. That is a good choice.
So that's going to be my 3 p.m. is Schizopolis.
I wouldn't mind doing Schizopolis and True Stories back to back. That would be fun.
That would be a good time.
Now I'm getting dark.
Okay.
I just found out that there's a remake of this coming out written by the guy who did Pet Sematary, and I'm very upset. I probably will never see it. I don't want to support it, but it's a remake of Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
Which we've done as a commentary, which was great for Tracks of the Damned. And it's a movie that really gets to me, really affects me. It says a lot about Vietnam, but it's also terrifying. And it's weird that I have this book, but it's just, I don't know why. Like, I've never seen it on the big screen. It's one of those, that I think that I want to have a conversation, a dialogue about it, like a Q&A, a discussion after it's over. And I guess I wanted to throw in something creepy, a psychological thriller of some kind, not necessarily full-blown genre horror, but, another underrated movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go with another underrated, underseen horror movie that I would want more people to see that is about someone who is not sure what is real and what isn't, which is Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Great.
I actually just recommended this to a customer the other day.
That's great.
Because they were like, I'm sort of interested in horror, but I just can't stand all the blood and guts and stuff.
The real Queen... No, wait. Yeah, it's the real Queen of Earth.
I mean,
what Queen of Earth wanted to be.
Like, if we just never mention Queen of Earth again, that would work for me too. but yeah, like Queen of Earth, at least in its trailer, was really trying to call to mind this movie. But this movie is really good, and that movie is really bad. So,
part of me wants to change my next one to some degree.
Well, you already chose it. If you can change it in the next 5 seconds.
Because, with Jacob's Ladder, I think this would be a really interesting transition in a movie that we would both love to have a Q&A with the audience with afterwards. Coherence.
Why would we have a Q&A with the audience? We
I don't
didn't
know.
make it.
No.
What does the audience care?
Well, let's fly in the director.
Okay.
And have a Q&A with him about the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess I could have gone with my original choice, Waking Life, but I know plenty of people who've seen it, and it's okay. I want to go with something that people don't know that much about, and Coherence is one of those movies that the more I watch it, the more I get out of it, and it's a great communal experience, short and sweet, and tight, and what's this director doing next? I want him to make more movies, please.
I think he has something in production.
I hope so.
I want to say, last I checked, was like 2 years ago. He had something in production, but Coherence is really, really good.
Yeah. It would be good to prepare after. It's a disaster in a way. Dinner party movies.
So I want to go with another sort of... So I don't think this movie is as good as Coherence, and maybe even calling it underrated would be a stretch, just because it's like... I don't think the ending is very good, but it's a movie I'd love to see on the big screen that has that similar sort of irresolvable sci-fi premise. But yeah, mostly I think it would just be an amazing movie to see on the big screen. The Quiet Earth.
Have I seen this?
It's an Australian sci-fi movie about a man who wakes up to discover he's the only person on Earth.
What? How have I not seen this?
And he basically
it's 1985 too.
Yeah, he kind of goes mad. Just sort of stir crazy.
Wow.
It's really neat. Like all the stuff before anyone else shows up is the best stuff. Spoiler alert. It's the classic the last man on Earth phone rings sort of a thing.
I Am Legend.
He discovers there's someone else or whatever.
I'm sure. That makes sense. I would expect that.
That's interesting, but it's less interesting. And then the ending, it's sort of like I've seen the movie I think 2 or 3 times, and I never remember how it ends just because it's so like, wait, huh? That was kind of sudden. But I think The Quiet Earth is a really cool movie, and a lot of that early stuff of him just being alone on Earth and sort of going mad and having his way with the world is really good.
I'm going to watch that soon then. That sounds good.
It's worth seeing.
We're going to end on a recent title that I happened to fall in love with. I think you liked it, didn't love it, but Columbus.
Right.
Yeah. I just think that's one of those sweet romantic movies that isn't necessarily about like, are they going to end up together? Necessarily. They're just having a cool connection, you know? And there's a lot of great shots of architecture and 2 really great performances from 2 great actors that I'm growing to love more and more the more I see them. So it's a good note to end on. I think people would walk out feeling good. You know? So I think it's, you know, instead of choosing like another Richard Linklater movie or something, I think going with Columbus would be just as satisfying.
I think I'm going to do something that's somewhere. It's like halfway in between a continuation of The Quiet Earth, and sort of similar to Columbus, in that Columbus is kind of a little bit inspired by like slow cinema, just a bit. I'm going to go with the Tsai Ming Liang movie, The Hole.
Ooh,
which is a post-apocalyptic movie about. There's basically been a mass disease where people start convulsing and doing insect-like sort of movements, and it's sort of just about this person who lives in this mostly abandoned apartment complex, and it's just raining all the time, and it's a Tsai Ming Liang movie, so it's just like super esoteric and slow, but it's also just absolutely hypnotizing, and I think there's like 2 or 3 like really big, campy, weird musical numbers. That are just sort of like tone-breaking things, and
it's on my watch list. I haven't gotten to it yet, though.
Weirdly, for a Tsai Ming Liang movie, the ending is kind of hopeful and uplifting. Also, a bit.
All right.
It's quite literally uplifting, which I'm not going to spoil anything.
That's good. Yeah, I think people should walk out feeling.
That would also be like,
oops.
I mean, if that's a slow movie, but I kind of feel like it's good to end a long string of movies on like a slow one, because it's you just have to surrender to it or not watch
That's
it.
how I feel about Columbus, you know.
Yeah.
It's immersive and slow and calming. Yeah. That's a good... Okay, let's go over our titles again. For my film festival, at 9 a.m. we would have Bad Day at Black Rock, 11 a.m. Bigger Than Life, 1 p.m. They Came Together, 3 p.m. The Informant, 5 p.m. Jacob's Ladder, 7 p.m. Coherence, and 9 p.m. Columbus.
Mine would start at 9 a.m. with Kansas City Confidential. Then at 11 a.m. there'd be The Victim. Then at 1 p.m. it would be It's a Disaster. At 3 p.m. Schizopolis. At 5 p.m. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. At 7 p.m. The Quiet Earth. And then at 9 p.m. The Hole.
Wow. I think we should just go to the music box right now.
We could do that. We can
make
this at home.
happen.
We don't gotta do it. No one's gonna fucking see anything we program.
That's sad. Because these are good movies. I just want them to see the movies. I don't care about putting our names.
Well, and recommend that they show them, but they're not gonna do a thing with us.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, we can do this.
I had a lot
at
of
home.
fun.
I don't think I own Schizopolis. That might be the hardest one to get a hold of.
Probably can get it from the library.
Maybe
Criterion? Yeah, I would think so.
But it's like an out-of-print Criterion, so if someone never returned it, that's the end of it.
Interlibrary loan. You can get interlibrary loan.
Yeah.
I'm sure some library somewhere has Schizopolis, I guarantee you.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Some library somewhere has Schizopolis.
Thanks for coming in, Patrick, and having a great episode today. I had a lot of fun.
I did have a great psychotic episode today.
That's what it should be. Well,
Great manic episode.
Indeed.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Happy birthday, Jim.
Thank you. I love this as our tradition.
Yeah.
We'll keep it up.
Well, it takes 3 to make a trend.
Okay. We can at least do this one more time, I think.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Please visit voicesvisions.net. Nowplayingnetwork.net.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I woke up at 3:30 this morning.
I understand. I know what that's
like.
like.
What time is it?
3:30 p.m.
Okay.
So 12
there
hours.
we go.
Yeah. All full circle. Very good. Yeah, and Patrick, you're at Letterboxd, and that's about it right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Tracks of the Damned, if you want to check out some old episodes.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks for coming, and we'll
thank
see
you
you
for having
again next year. And like everybody knows by now that there's going to be less episodes of my show because of how busy I'm going to be with school. And but if I get a good interview coming my way, I'm not going to say no. You know, I think Keith Gordon is going to come out one more time as a trilogy. Got to have a trilogy.
Got to be a trilogy.
You know. We're going to talk about underrated 80s movies this time instead of underrated 90s movies.
What does Keith Gordon think an underrated 80s movie is?
I don't know. But he always comes up with cool titles. Things I haven't heard of before. So he's a true movie fan.
What would Keith Gordon say about there? Silver Bullet.
I think I'm going to ask him a little bit about De Palma this time. I haven't really talked to him about, what's it like to work with De Palma?
So good.
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be a good year. I hope.
I'm sorry. Like at some point in the last fucking 25 minutes, I've realized I'm not awake. My energy just fucking. I think I heard that yesterday is playing it.
That's the last thing you remember.
Festival. And then I think after that, I'm like, what a bad dream. I went back to sleep.
Yeah, every podcast feels like a bad dream.
Yeah, it's true.
Thanks everyone for listening and for all your support, and I'll still be around. I won't be a stranger. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh no, goddamn, I missed the last train. I killed the party again. Goddamn, goddamn, I wanna sleep in my bed.